Hello, hello, hello everyone. I am back. It is Thursday. It is 8 p.m. UK time. It is 8 p.m. UK time. And I am here with Nicole. Nicole is another game that I got a key for. Thank you very much to Red Games for that, the publisher. Yes, this is a visual novel by Winter Wolves. Winter Wolves have done several visual novels, some of which have been ported over. But this is the first one that was released on Xbox, so that's cool. Metalike obviously have done lots of games. This came out on the 29th of July. And from the description, it is a dating simulator that revolves around your day-to-day life as a college student. Classes, homework, and mysterious abductions. You take up part-time jobs to earn money, explore various locations, do recreational and extracurricular activities, and meet intriguing characters like Darren, Kurt, Jeff, and Ted. You might even get to date the culprit. 4 different boys to date with 10 different endings. Discover the true identity of the culprit. Careful, you could be dating him. So I don't know whether I get to do the voices, but it should be fun. And you know, it's always good. Hi Steve, there's the Mr. Blobby. Hi Mr. Coolness. So yeah, I will switch over to the channel and go hi. I moved the camera earlier, I think, or I moved something earlier because I was doing my intro video, and I think I moved the mic. There we go, the mic in. Hi Steve. Yeah, I'm doing okay today. I feel like the day just has disappeared a little bit, and I would like it to stop disappearing because I had a whole bunch of stuff I wanted to do, and I didn't get anything done. So, at the very least, we get to be the narrator. So, I'm sitting... Ooh! Thank you for that resub, Scruff. Appreciate it. Just going to take a quick screenshot of it. Apparently, I'm just going to take a screenshot of the whole screen. Yeah, I posted. That's like the first take I put up on YouTube, and that's fine there. But Twitch wants 60 seconds, so Leaky is very kindly editing it down for me, because I have no idea how to edit videos. That's one thing I haven't learnt. Kickstarter my band. Replying to Leaky about the intro video. Yeah, so it's going to be 60 seconds for Twitch. So I'll probably delete and re-upload the one on YouTube as well, because edited version will probably be better. Well, in almost certainty it'll be better because I waffled a little bit. It was like 60 seconds and I did 2 minutes. But I thought I should finally get it done, and my hair looked kind of cool today, so I'm like, while my hair looks kind of cool, I'm going to do the intro video. Plus, I'm wearing my merch, which you can't see. Merch! I have merch. So yes, right. Ooh, it's like a visual novel RPG thing, and ow, I just twinged my shoulder doing that. So yes, it is September the 1st, which is a Sunday. Does that match up with this year? Yeah, I have a link. Hang on, I did a whole like thing. So my merch has a link. There we go. What was... Oh, that's not the calendar. Was September the 1st a Sunday? No, it's a Tuesday, so this is 2 years ago. It is the afternoon. I have $50. My morale is 75. My energy is 75. I have 1 clue, 1 zeal, 1 diligence, 1 amity, and 1 wit. Cool. All right, let's get started. There are already tons of people on campus when I arrive. Cool place. It's busy and loud, but I just find that I find that it just makes the atmosphere more exciting in a way. It's nice to know nothing's different just because I picked a private university to attend. Thanks to some help from school, I already have most of my stuff up in my room. The only thing left is a single box, and it's already being hefted awkwardly around in my arms. I really want to look around, but that can wait for later when I have more time. I pick up my stride as I approach the dormitory, weaving past other students as I go. I nearly crash into people more often than I'd like, but make sure to hastily mumble an apology to each student who has the misfortune of getting in my way. Oh, so just sound check, hopefully that's okay. Let me know if there's anything. I know I should slow down, but I can't help it. I've been waiting for this for so long. I worked really hard to get into this university, and now that I'm here, I can hardly believe it. Cool, can you hear the birds tweeting in the background? It's very cool. I like that sort of sound effect. I'm not the only one like this. All around me I can hear people chattering. My ears prick up at the mention of local restaurants. Teachers to avoid. You hear the tweet. Ah, I feel like I'm in the countryside. Teachers to take, popular media, and a medley of other topics. Typical school talk, and as badly as I just want to join in with someone and make some new friends, I have stuff I gotta take care of. Already with the responsibilities. Soon, I'm in one of the halls of the dorm, glancing at each door number as I pass to try and find mine. I'm rooming with someone for the year. Chandra Dawn, I think her name was. Oh, thank you for the host, Alkash. I don't know all that much about her, but I'm hoping she'll be cool. In worst case scenario, I'm going to have to switch rooms. But best to keep optimistic. I haven't even met her yet. Ooh. I gasp as I hit something, or really, someone in the hall. We collide so hard that I nearly drop my box. The unfortunate soul is knocked down to the ground with a pained breath. Whoa! Thank you for the host, Leaky SK, Jess, and Mr. Coolness. Okay, right. So I get to do all the voices. I'm so excited. Sorry, I love doing voices. Okay, so Nicole. Main character, so consistency is good. Wanted to sound different from the narrator. Alright, I'm just gonna quick message. It's already cut 60 seconds. Oh, hang on. Why is... Sorry, Discord just popped up over my chat and now I can't say anything. Right, there we go. My chat is back. So, voice. Sorry, I'm not doing admin. I'm just replying to one message. Also, I really did manage to wrench my shoulder. Oh, maybe I'll have a bath later. That was really stupid. Well, to be fair, I can see the chat anyway. It's just Discord had popped up over half of it. Ow. Right, okay, so... I'm very tempted to make Nicole Scottish, because I like doing my Scottish accent. I pulled it or wrenched it when I was flailing earlier. I sat down and sort of relaxed, and then yeah, I am a really silly Billy. Either that or I slept on it funny, but I've twinged a muscle. Luckily it's not a strenuous game, it's just pressing A. We should be good. So yes, I think Nicole is going to be Scottish because I like Scottish. Ah, I'm so sorry, are you okay? I clumsily place the box down and offer a hand out. The girl I knocked down rises to her knees, gently massaging her head. Oh, she's pretty and so tan. I am jealous. I always burn when I try and do that. I'm fine. Don't know what her name is. This might be my roommate. So again, I wanted to listen. I'm fine. Thanks. I mustn't have been paying attention. She looks up at me and smiles as she takes my hand and pulls herself up. I don't have a big box blocking my view as an excuse. I still should have tried to watch where I was going. Okay, I realise the Scottish is not quite there yet, but just bear with me. I offer out a hand. I'm Nicole, by the way. My name is Chandra. Oh, this is a roommate. It's nice to meet you. Wait, did she just say Chandra Dawn? I start to grin as Chandra and I realise it at the same time. She points eagerly at me. Nicole? Is your last name Grave? Oh god, that's awkward. Nicole Grave. Yeah, so that makes us roommates? I squeak excitedly while Chandra gives me a much more contained, sheepish smile. Well, Nicole, it's great to meet you. Chandra is a lovely name. It really is. Same. Except for the whole knocking you down part. Oh, that was an accident. Don't worry. I'm not mad. As if to change the subject, Chandra gestures to the side of the hall. I can show you over to our room. I actually have to go pick up more stuff, but feel free to place your things wherever. Cool. Thanks, Chandra. I pick my box up and follow after Chandra as she leads me down the hall and to the left. The second door from the end turns out to be our room, and I bid her off with a tilt of my head before I head in. Lost iPhone, need help, call, and there's a pizza thing and the delivery on the notice board. Our room's pretty empty, but that's to be expected. I give an awkward attempt at a shrug as I hold the box in my arms. It's nice. Massive bookcase, nice desk, good chair. Though for some reason they seem to have taken the left bed but the right chair. That seems odd. But then there's a computer on the left, so I don't know. Yeah. I was thinking my room in Nottingham was like a third of the size of this. It was literally single bed, shoved up against the wall, desk, wardrobe, radiator. That was it. Oh, a chair, obviously. I hung my milk out of the window when it was cold. And then my room in Nantes was lovely. It had a little sink as well, which was really handy. Because in Nottingham I had to go along to the communal bathroom. But in Nantes it was nice because I could clean my teeth in my room. It was very handy. Oh, I missed that. That had a really cool sort of like bookcase shelving unit thing. With everything on. Still tiny bed and small desk, but yours was tiny, but you had your own bathroom. Oh, yeah. I mean, it was all shared bathroom, shared kitchen, etc. You was in a 4-person suite. Wow. Yeah. We were like 30 people to a bathroom. It was ridiculous. Well, to be fair, it was like communal showers and then like sinks and stuff. To be fair, it's pretty, you know, university like. Okay. I guess I have the room all to myself for now. I bump the door closed with my butt and then set the box down near where I see my other stuff. Ah, so it's already brought stuff up. Ah, yeah, I mean, it was basically first year and third year I did dorms. It was student accommodation, so shared house for the other years. So that was, you know, 4 people. I see unfamiliar furnishings at the other side of the room and assume those are Chandra's belongings. It's great that she got here around the same time. I like my space and all, but I'm sure it can get lonely with no one around. I have to admit the room's pretty nice. It's too simple for my taste, but there's a ton of space for me to put stuff. Yeah, I think I can get used to this room. I give a triumphant smirk as I think of all those people who didn't take me seriously back in high school. A girl like me, at a university like this? Everyone thought I was joking when I told them it was my first choice school. Some jerks even laughed at the idea. Okay, I mean, I don't seem like the type of girl to be a complete brainiac. But hey, just because I'm smart doesn't mean I can't try and keep up with other things besides my studies. Exactly, she's totally Elle Woods, isn't she? Like clothes? I actually wonder if there are any sweet boutiques around here. Oh, I literally saw a deconstruction of The Mummy earlier about how oh god, I've forgotten the actor's name. It's Rachel Weisz and B. Brandon? No. Yes, no. Who's the main guy in The Mummy? Rachel Weisz is the actress. Oh my god. I love this actor as well. Because he's just so, like... Brendan Fraser. I was close. I had Brendan Fraser. Thanks, SK. Yeah, Brendan Fraser. And how it's like... It's a really quite... feminist movie. Just purely because of the way he's sort of... strong but respectful and totally, like, you know, realizes that she's an archaeologist who gives her like tool thingies. You know, he doesn't treat her like she's fragile, and it's just a really good movie. And I've always really liked The Mummy. I know it's a silly movie, but Brendan Fraser has always been one of my favorite actors, and I hate what happened to him and that he disappeared. But you know, the stuff that he's been in is okay. It's cheesy, but you know, I like cheesy. I need a bit of cheesy in my life. That's a movie quote or a TV quote. If you can guess where that one's from. Movie quote. I like cheesy. A bit of cheesy in my life. See if you can guess that one. So yes, I wonder if there are any sweet boutiques around here. Doesn't take long to log into my Stuckles connection. Despite all the horror stories I've heard about college internet, it's decent, and I start lining up tabs of my favourite websites at the top of my browser. Along with that is a tab of my favourite blogging site of all time. The one, the only, Roller. Instead of Tumblr. I have my music player going too, and I hum along to the beat of one of my favourite bands as I scroll through the seasonal cardigans. While I'm at it, I might as well be productive. I quickly make a new tab and type my university's name in the search bar. Of course the first hit would be my school's website. Gross. I really don't want to think about classes just yet. I scroll past it to look at the other choices. Boring. Oh hey, a school newspaper? That sounds cool. And I figure maybe it has some info on any events happening at the start of the school year. Unfortunately, besides a recap on orientation, which I really do not want to remember ever, there isn't much to read. Oh, hold the phone. What's this? Multiple Disappearance Mystery Continues? By Simo Littner. The Multiple Disappearance Mystery continues. There have been 3 victims so far, police say. Even as I read the title of the article aloud, I can't believe this. It sounds like some silly rumour the upperclassmen made up to scare us freshmen. Strangely enough, it seems credible, and even the author has sources and official statements from the police and everything. How weird. 3 victims so far. Each girl went missing for around a few days before being found unconscious somewhere in town, unable to remember a thing. It looks like each victim transferred out afterward. stop scrolling for a moment as I feel a chill roll up my spine. That's so spooky. I don't get it. Can something like that really be happening? Am I missing something? I absentmindedly twirl a strand of hair around my finger as I continue. This is actually kind of weird, and oh, the police think this is all the work of some mysterious abductor. I finish the article soon after, but the details I read continue to stay in my mind. People going missing isn't just something you can ignore. Why isn't the school doing more? Why does no one seem to care that much? Well, that's an easy answer. This is all scary as heck. Plus, it's way easier to leave things to the police. Yeah, I just got to leave it to the police. Be a little careful, watch myself at night, and most importantly, study, study, study. I keep my face straight for a mere second before bursting out into laughter. Or maybe I can buy this striped cardigan as my own start of the new semester present. Somewhat of an elaborate joke. It's a video game and these things could never happen in a video game, right? What, you mean this one? Yeah? I guess? I click out of the news tabs and get started on my favourite hobby, online shopping. This isn't the time to get gloomy. I mean, yeah, it's like one of those things, it's like when you read books and you're like, oh, this is kind of like the real world, except there's like superheroes and dragons and mysterious, DNA coded data packets, and I love fiction so much. This is why I really like visual novels, because you're not only getting a game, I know, dragons, just like real life. You're not only getting a game, you are getting a really freaking good story. And I love that. I love a really good story. And this one seems like it's a bit of a mystery, and you know how much I like mysteries. So yes. Alright, I have... Oh, hang on. Can I go back? Online shopping. This isn't the time to get gloomy. I have a whole year ahead of me, and maybe things aren't going to be as picture perfect as the college brochures want me to believe, but I figure nothing is ever really as it seems at first glance. Hey, if anyone knows that, it's me. Ooh. Visual novel mode. Since version 1.06, you can choose to play the game in visual novel mode. If you're only interested in the story and don't want to play the stat raising, give it a try. No, I want to do the stat raising. Stat raising gameplay. No! No. Oh god, which is... No. Okay, I got the selected text the wrong way around. Okay. Play with stat raising gameplay. Yes! There we go. Which one was selected? I really wish games wouldn't do just colour as a selected thing. It's like stick a box around it. There was the same issue with We Were Here Together, and it was really hard to tell the difference between selected and not selected. Just make it really obvious. Green is selected. Right, tutorial. Cool. Activities. Can raise stats. If moral energy is low, we need to rest. Ooh, and then we can get a part-time job, different endings on who you romance, and if I solve the mystery. Yeah, an arrow, a box, like really make like the selection be really obvious. And that is something that a lot of games fall down on. Like most games fall down on that. Unless you've got a mouse cursor, like with the Ubisoft games, you have to move the mouse cursor to select stuff. That's fine. But when you've not got a mouse cursor, when you're selecting with a controller, with that, the yellow looked like it wasn't selected and the white was, but it was actually the other way around. So yeah, different endings. Ooh, okay, so there's the cafeteria, the campus, the classroom, the library. We can go home. We're already home. Convenience store, public park, or football field. So, I mean, if it were me, I know where I'd go first. But we're playing as Nicole, so where would Nicole go first? Apparently to buy cardigans, but there's not an option for that. So, stream, any preferences on where we go first? Oh yeah, and the Ubisoft Forward event is today, which is slightly irritating. But hey, my stream port alerts are working today. Well, I would go to the library. Which, okay, then I will go for the library. I mean, yeah. I don't think that was actually the first place I went when I was on my first day at uni. I can't remember whether there was like a common room area. But I know my mum and dad unpacked my stuff and said go make friends. And I came back and I couldn't find anything the entire first semester because I hadn't unpacked anything. And I would think I would have just preferred to unpack stuff myself. So... Although, I'm going to go to the library. Where we can search through some old newspapers. Okay, so what do we want to do? We want to search through old newspapers. Which should be available. We should get some clue. Okay. We get 7 clues. -5 morale and -5 energy. Results. Whoa, I managed to stumble upon some good reference books in here. Gotta love that retro information network. Okay, so we can get some more clues. But I think we should go and... Ooh, hey, now we've got some more options. Movie theatre, bathroom, restaurant. Well, in which case, I want to go to the movie theatre. Examine night activities. Okay, some people call it stalking, but I say people watching. And now we're going to have movie nights. Oh. Movie night. Amity +5, morale +10, energy +4, money -10. That was amazing. I gotta buy it as soon as it comes out in stores. Right, stats chance. Zeal 0, diligence 0, amity +5, wit 0, morale -3, energy -14, money -10. We have 0 relationships with anyone. And mystery progress. Oh, this isn't going as well as I thought it would. I take a little look at the campus map I've pulled up on my phone, double checking it to make sure I'm in the right area. Yeah. I mean, I think I put it on auto. I totally am. I mean, I think I am. I have no clue. Getting to places is hard. Trying to find the building where my bio class is going to be held. I found my other 3 classes no problem, so I have no idea why I've suddenly lost all sense of direction. I think I've been wandering around for like 20 minutes. It feels like it's been longer than that, to be honest. To be fair, I did find that I had problems finding some of the buildings when I was at uni. But anyway, whatever, I give up. I'm just going to head back to the dorm and ask Chandra if she knows. Wait, which way is the dorm again? This is so bad. Why does the biology department have to have such a confusing building layout? Why are we stuck here forever? 5 ever? Oh, is that instead of 4 ever? I just know it. And I'll never find my biology class, and I'm going to flunk out of school and become that old lady who lives with 1,000,000 cats for the rest of my life. That does not sound like a bad thing. Oh! We may have to play another game. I can't say that. I'm going to change the word. And I love cats, so that sounds awesome. right in the middle of my mental breakdown when I hear someone call out to me. Hey, you there! Ooh, I see a guy approaching. He looks older than me. Older than I am, with chestnut brown hair combed neatly into place. His dark brown eyes meet mine warmly, and he gives me a friendly smile before he begins talking. I'm not trying to be rude, but this has to be the third time I've seen you walk by today. Apparently this guy has a posh accent. Huh? What? I hold a hand to my face, embarrassed. What? You mean people have seen me walking around like an idiot? The guy chuckles and holds out his hands to try and console me. Please relax. I'm sure it was only me. Classes haven't started just yet, so there aren't too many people around. I'm Jeff. I'm a second year here. I'm going to take a wild guess and say that you're first year. My shoulders sag. Yeah, I bet it was pretty obvious. Yeah, you're right. I'm Nicole. I hold out my phone so Jeff can take a look at the school map. I'm trying to get to this building here, see? It's where my bio class is going to be, and I want to make sure I don't waste time trying to find it on the first day. Can you imagine if I hadn't done this first? I probably wouldn't have even made it to class in time. Jeff tucks the side of his finger between his lips, and as he hums in thought. Ah, you're looking for the science lecture hall. That's a staple for life science majors. Everyone takes a class in here at least once. I'm surprised you didn't know about it. They didn't show you the building when you toured the school for orientation? It's a big deal in this department. Really? Oh, I should have been more clear. I'm not a life science major, pre-law actually. They only gave us a tour of the law school. Jeff lets out a low whistle. Ah, so you're the exact opposite of life sciences, eh? Taking a class for the GE? She's totally Elwood's. I want to make sure I cover all my bases. I wouldn't want to accidentally miss a requirement. Ouch, that would not be good. That's rather prepared of you, Nicole. I'm jealous. I wish I was like you last year. Ah, well, just trying to start the game off right. I'm getting a good feeling about this Jeff guy. He's nice and polite, and without him I'd probably still be lost with no idea where to go. I don't know. Maybe he's too helpful? We've got to figure out who this abductor person is. It could be him. He does have nice hair, though. Technically, still am right now, but... Hey, Jeff, could you do me a huge favour? I place my hands together pleadingly. But Jeff waves away my gesture. You don't have to say it. You need someone to show you to the lecture hall, right? Well, you've come to the right place. If there's anything I can do, it's lead the way. I know how hard the first year can be. Excuse me? Getting used to a new place can be quite the challenge. He starts to walk and gestures for me to follow after him. I skip over to his side, listening to Jeff as he goes on. You should be fine, though, if you remember where the landmarks are, like the library or the cafeteria. You'll be able to find your way around campus easy enough. Jeff speaks so assuredly that I start to find confidence in his words. I'm really lucky to have bumped into him. Maybe he can show me the ropes to this place. For now, he just shows me to the route to the lecture hall, making small talk along the way. It's pleasant, nothing too gripping. He just asks questions about where I'm staying, what other classes I'm taking, the basics. I think I totally forgot to say hi, Jessie. And hi, SK. You just sort of joined in the conversation about uni and I forgot to say hi. But hi, everyone! I already said hi, Steve. So I remember doing that. That is a cute emoji. I really need to do another emoji. I got an empty slot. I just don't know what to do. I want kind of maybe hype, maybe boom. I really want to try and do a boom, actually. Or did I do a boom? No, I did a boom, didn't I? Hype. Yeah, I have boom. Usually do boom. Okay. I've got love. Kitty. Maybe a hype? Yeah. Joe boom. Maybe a hype. Always do like a table flip one. Or a Joe on fire. No, I think I tried to do a fire one and it did not work out. That's my angel bear! I wore that for Halloween. I had my onesie on. And Leaky made it my emoji into my avatar into an emoji type bear thing, and I love it. It's so cute. Okay, what's that? Oh, that is cute. Right. Stop getting distracted by emojis. Right. For now, he just shows me the route to the lecture hall, making small talk along the way. It's pleasant, nothing too gripping. He just asks questions about where I'm staying, what are the classes I'm taking, the basics. Did I read that already? I can't remember. When we eventually reach the lecture hall, I can barely believe it. I know I passed by this area at least once. Man, I was so close and didn't realise it. Something tells me this area isn't as new as you thought it would be. Jeff covers his mouth politely as he chuckles at my expense. I don't really mind. I would do the same thing to anyone else. I totally walked past this place. At least I know where it is now. Thanks, Jeff. I totally owe you one. It wasn't any trouble. I couldn't leave you wandering alone like that. Jeff leans forward excitedly and gestures over to the doors. Want to head in and check it out? It's nothing revolutionary, but I personally think the inside is very snazzy. He seems so excited by the idea that I'm drawn in as well, and I agree that taking a look inside wouldn't hurt. Jeff's right when he says the inside isn't anything special, but I have to admit that it's a nicely made building. I think because it's so modern, the seats don't look creaky and the flooring looks presentable. What do you think? A great place to learn, right? Yes, it's not like I'm going to pay attention to whether the walls match the carpet during class. Very true. At least I hope you don't. Not if it's going to distract you from the teacher. Jeff thoughtfully rubs his chin. Say, what class are you taking, and with whom? Oh, I tell him the name of my class and the person teaching. It's lucky I was able to remember that from the top of my head. It's on your phone, probably. So the bio class for non-bio majors. I should have known. I actually work in your professor's lab. Oh, like an internship? It's common to do after your first year. Your professor is a nice fellow, not too difficult as long as you do the work and do your best to understand. Then again, what professor isn't like that? Jeff laughs at his own joke. He sure sounds like he's had a lot of experience around here. It makes me feel like such a noob. You are a noob, dear. It's your first day. Do you mind if I ask what your major is, Jeff? I don't think you ever told me. Me? I don't mind at all. I'm a pharmacology major here. Ooh, pharmacology, like drugs. That's like medicine and all that jazz, right? Beat passes. I look at Jeff to see if anything's the matter, and I see him smiling at me, but the corner of his mouth is twitching ever so slightly. Yes, around those lines, though it's more about biology and how drugs affects this biology rather than medicine and all that jazz. Another bout of forced laughter follows after that. Did I touch a nerve? Nah, just be imagining it, but pharmacology seems like the type of study that's super complicated. It sounds hard. Pharmacology has to be hard. Thinking about all that sciencey stuff that goes on is enough to give me a headache. Excuse me? Jeff's tone of voice takes on a sharper edge. Oh, maybe I shouldn't have said that. This is just frustrating because, you know, when you're a clever girl, woman, you downplay your intelligence by like, oh, the sciencey stuff sounds hard. This dude is basically taking it as an insult to his subject when she was just, fine, misstep. He's not a nice guy. Or he's a nice guy. So, maybe we stumbled on the culprit straight away. I'll agree when you say that pharmacology is difficult, but to dismiss it because of that, it's like an insult. I hold my hands up as I see Jeff growing more upset by the second. I didn't mean to come across like that. Ugh, me and my big mouth. Hey, I'm not trying to insult your Major. I'm just saying that it sounds hard. All the more power to you for sticking with it. All the more... Jeff thoughtfully repeats what I just said with a smirk. Oh, it's nothing to be admired for. I just do what I enjoy. Thank you, though, Nicole, for saying that. I mean it. Plus, if it snaps Jeff out staying annoyed at me, all the better. Anyway, I think we stayed here long enough, don't you think? Let me lead you back to your dorm. You don't have to do that for my sake. I can manage. Are you sure? No, not really. Jeff laughs in the face of how blunt I am, and I grin sheepishly in response. Seriously, if it's going to be out your way, I'll be fine. I don't want to bother you. Nicole, trust me, it's not a bother. Jeff winks as he holds the door open for me. Let's go. I'll show you a shortcut. Reluctantly, I smile and head out the open door. Trying to be ungrateful, but I feel bad for dragging Jeff into helping me like this. I'm sure he has better stuff to do than lead some girl around. However, true to his word, Jeff shows me how to get from the lecture hall all the way back to the dorm. It's shorter than I thought. Oh, I must have wasted so much time. And voila, here we are. Jeff sweeps an arm behind him and gestures at my dorm building like it's an amusement park attraction. Thank you so much, Jeff. That was some shortcut. When it comes to the life sciences department, I know all there is. I'm usually around these parts, so if you ever see me, don't be afraid to say hi. There's something I need to take care of, so I'm off for now. It was certainly a pleasure meeting you. Yeah, same to you, Jeff. Thanks again. See ya. So he has to go take care of the last girl he's abducted, clearly. There we go. So if it's Jeff, I already called it. We'll see how the other guys fare, though. I wave goodbye to Jeff until he's long gone, then turn on my heel back into my dorm. Man, meeting him was such a lucky break. I can already tell he's an awesome guy. And who knows, maybe I'll run into him again sometime soon. Choose where to go. I think... cafeteria. Drink something and socialise. So... drink something, which ups my morale, but $8! I'm not eating anything. Socialise. We've got game turns. Okay, it's interesting. Oh, it's like the little tiggy thing. Socialise with people. I have less energy, but my morale is great. My friends are the best. They always know how to make me laugh. Okay, and I'm going to go back. And pharmacy. Disco pub. Totally going to the disco pub. Go dance, drink something, look for suspicious behaviour. Well, I'm going to totally look for suspicious behaviour first. And then I might dance in this room. Talking to those girls gave me a good feeling of the atmosphere. At least I think that's what we were talking about. A little too busy to make sure. Alright, another day is ended. Please review the progress summary. Okay, so we met Jeff, but we have 0% on a relationship. We got 3 more amity. We lost more morale, energy, and money. But we gained some, so it balances out. Okay. 3 game turns. Okay. Nothing is better than a good night of sleep. Okay. Ugh, this isn't fair! Straggle into my criminology class 10 minutes before it's supposed to start. And what I see makes me want to cry. Nearly all the seats near the front are full. I slump a little and bow my head. I didn't mean to sleep through my alarm. I even made sure to sleep at a reasonable time so I could get up early. So much for that. Stupid body. I empathized there. Oh, hey, but 100 morale, 100 energy. Good start. 18 clues. 9 amity. Awesome. There's no use complaining about it now. I better get a seat before I'm left with the ones in the very, very back. I hurry to the aisle and do my best to look inconspicuous as I scope out an empty seat. The ones I can see are all towards the middle, so I'll probably have to scoot past a bunch of people to reach one. That's going to be awkward. For any alternatives? I spot a seat in one of the closer rows, 2 away from the aisle. Not exactly the middle like I prefer, but beggars can't be choosers. Gonna have to get past two guys sitting in the way, though. I clutch my bag to my side and give them a nervous smile. Excuse me? Once they notice I'm, like, right there, I shuffle my way towards the seat, doing my best not to trip on their feet or bags. I nearly make it before I feel my foot snag on someone's backpack. Reflexively, I spin to look over my shoulder, and I feel my shoulder bag whack into something. Oh no, that sounded like a really hard whack. My would-be neighbour for the class rubs his head, while his friend next to him laughs at his expense. He should have moved his bag out of the way then. I help my hands out apologetically, unsure of what to say. Oh gosh, sorry? The guy I hit scowls with gritted teeth, but his expression smooths out into a tight-lipped line. Ain't a problem, miss. Just watch your step next time. Sounds forced and weird. Oh, I mean, like, different. He sounds different, like he has some kind of accent. I settle into my seat, keep my bag in my lap. I sneak another look at the guy right beside me. His hair's a sandy blonde and wavy like it had been caught in a breeze outside. His eyes are also a really light shade of brown. I think that they call that particular colour hazel. Eavesdropping on his conversation gives me a chance to listen for that accent. I sort of gave it a little bit of a Cockney one. He has a Joe accent, exactly. But here his friends are speaking so quietly I can't really catch it. I'm cut off as soon as the teacher begins with the lecture. Oh well, it wasn't that important. I was just curious. Lecture goes along at its normal pace, and I forget all about paying attention to the guy next to me. Soon enough, the teacher dismisses us, and the classroom is set roaring with the sound of hundreds of students packing their bags at once. The people next to me are freakishly fast. Not that guy and his friend to my left, but the ones to the right. Ugh, man, can't they just leave from that side? I can see them waiting on me from the corner of my eye, and it's like the pressure is on. Save my notes on my laptop, shut it closed, and stuff it in my bag. The guy and his friend don't seem as rushed as I am, but I make sure that I'm out of that row as soon as possible. Maybe it's a better idea to sit somewhere less crowded next time. Or maybe people can just shove up to the middle and not make people have to walk all over them to get to a seat. If I manage to wake up, that is. The door slams shut behind me as I leave the building, but a moment later I hear someone throw it open again. Excuse me? Is someone talking to me? I turn round since I don't see anyone else nearby. To my surprise, I'm looking right at the guy who sat next to me in class. I point at myself unsurely. Who else would they are yelling about around here? Of course I'm talking to you. He marches straight towards me and thrusts out his hand filled with several familiar-looking pens. Hey, those are mine. Did I drop them? He nods curtly. You left them behind? I didn't notice until you were gone, so I figured I'd try and get them back to you. Oh, thanks. I hold my palms out and the guy drops the pens carefully into my hands. My fingers wrap around their necks to keep them secure. Didn't even use these guys in class today. How'd I manage to drop them? Your bag probably had an open pocket. You'd be careful not to let... You best be careful not to let that happen again. Not everyone in the world would be kind enough to return them. I'm really glad you were. I laugh in relief as I put my pens back in my bag. I make sure to double check that I close the pocket this time. I'm Nicole. It's nice to meet you, Ted. Likewise, it's a pleasure to make your acquaintance. He offers a polite hand and I lightly shake it. Now that we're talking one-on-one like this, I instantly recognise where Ted's accent is from. I'm so sure I know what it is, but it wouldn't hurt to check. Okay, I'm just going to come out and say it. You're not from here, are you? The corner of Ted's lips turn inward like he's heard this several times before. Oh, it was the drawl that gave it away, huh? I try my best to control it, but some things do their darndest to stick with you. I'm from the South, born and raised, Alabama to be precise. I moved here a couple of years ago. Yeah, don't ask me what's going on with this accent, haven't settled on him yet. Alabama, born and raised. I'm not very good with American accents. I knew it. I allow myself a smug moment and start smiling. Ted immediately takes notice. Why are you grinning like that? He cocks a brow and puts his hands on his hip. Go on, spit it out. You look like you've got something to say. It's nothing. It's only about your voice. To tell the truth, I don't know how he's going to react to what I just thought. I just think your southern accent is cute. Ted rolls his eyes and scoffs. That's not funny. No, I'm not kidding. It's charming. You never hear anyone talking like that around here. I grin widely as I get an idea. Hey, would you mind saying something for me? Like one of those funny sayings you guys have? What do you mean? We don't have any weird sayings. But you hear it all the time on TV. Ted shoots me an incredulous look and quickly shakes his head. He suddenly starts talking a mile a minute, sounding incredibly defensive. Ugh, and you're going to believe that? Oh, okay, maybe there's a little truth in those shorts, but just a little. No one talks like that back home, especially not me. And another thing. Top of Ted's cheeks go a little red. Don't call me cute. This ain't no guy you'd want to be called cute like that. I didn't call you cute. I said your accent was cute. Not that I'm saying you're ugly. It's the same thing in principle. Ted shouts testily and clears his throat, embarrassed as he realizes how worked up he is. I can't say the right thing for nothing today. It's like, ugh. These guys are not performing like normal guys. Pardon, I didn't mean to yell, but you're better off finding some rodeo clowns to talk Southernese for you. I'm not some toy for you to play with. I decided to lay off the poor guy as I hear how huffy his voice sounds now. It's kind of fun to see how far I can push him. He seems so composed. I wouldn't imagine it'd be this easy to rile him up. Okay, I'm getting a good feeling about this guy. But not about Jeff. Jeff seems evil. Ah, it's fine. Yeah, just send a whole bunch right now. I figure that counts. I'll have to wait for you to slip and give me something especially southern. That ain't gonna happen, so don't bet your britches on it. We both pause. I give Ted a cheeky look and he looks about ready to slide his hand down his face. When he realises what he's done, he turns and coughs into his fist, ready to hastily change the subject. Anyway, I didn't get a chance to say this, but thanks for the compliment. I mean, I'm still enough of a gentleman to know when to express my gratitude. You have a better feeling about Jeff than this guy? Interesting. I feel like we should bet on it. Wait till we've met, like, all four guys, because I'm guessing one of the four of them is it. Then we'll have a poll to see who we think is the culprit. Whether we'll find out today or not, I don't know. So I don't know how long the playthrough is going to take. It seems to have varied. Just say took couple of hours, and strawberry vinegar took like 2 solid long playthroughs. So we will see if we can get closer to a conclusion. No problem. I mean it. I like how you talk. Get it? You just don't keep having to keep sit every 2 seconds. I'm only making sure you know. Ted looks like he's trying really hard to hold back a sigh. I can tell that the two of us have gotten a little friendlier. You don't just argue with some random stranger. We don't rush, because a lot of people just play these for the achievements and they stick the auto skip on and they hit the choices and you know, they don't really appreciate the game, but, you know, I figure I really like the story of these games. I want to give it a good show. I mean, there's 10 endings. We're going to do 1 on stream. And hopefully get a good ending where we don't end up abducted without our memory. But yeah. So, we're doing it justice. Plus, you know, Rush Loco are kind enough to give me codes so I can stream these. I'm going to at least do them the courtesy of doing it properly. Plus, I like doing the voices. At least I don't. I kind of wouldn't be surprised if Ted did. What about you? I hear you got an accent yourself. What, me? I don't have an accent, I think. You kidding? You sure do. If I had to take a guess, I'd say you're from California. What? He's like the first person to ever guess that right away. Well, apparently I'm California slightly Scottish. But, you know, bad Joe Scottish today for some reason. I'm just a little bit weird, flat type Scottish. I can't do his accent. Alabama. Can't do American accents very well. Yes, the little bit of California that speaks Joe Scottish. Exactly, Steve. Exactly. Yeah, I am from there. How did you know? Does it really come out in the way I talk? I learned it early. You never realize how different you sound till you're surrounded by people who don't talk much like you. You may as well stand out like a sore thumb. It makes me feel all self-conscious of my voice now. I doubt Ted minds since he's in the same boat, but I wonder what other people think when I speak to them. It's just Ted who's good at pointing out this sort of thing. Yeah, I've told myself that. If you don't mind me asking, why choose a school all the way out here in Florida? It's a nice place and all, but ain't it far? It was a pretty long plane ride for me, sure, but this school has an awesome pre-law program. I got some financial aid to help pay for it, so money isn't too much of an issue besides the usual stuff. See, I want to become a lawyer. To do that, I'm going to have to study under some of the best people. Well, okay, I don't have to, but I want to. Ted hums approvingly. I like that. And the fact you're willing to come this far to learn means you've got the drive. That's respectable. Does this mean you're in our law school? Just started. How about you? Second year, criminal justice major. I'm looking to go into law enforcement like my old man. Ah? So like joining the police or something? That sounds totally scary to me. I don't think I could ever do it. My pop says it can be hard at times, but that's not enough to scare me off. The way Ted says this isn't backed with cocky arrogance, but humble confidence. See, he's a cop's kid. Another green flag. Just because there's some scary jobs out there ain't going to stop people from doing them. I figure if someone's going to have to do it, why not me? If it's something I want to do, well, even better. Ted looks down at the watch on his wrist and takes a few steps back in the other direction. Alright, I got your stuff back to you, so I'm done here. I'll see you around class, probably. Remember to keep better track of your things, okay? Will do. Bye, Ted. I'm sorry for whacking you around the head. Oh dear. I wave Ted off as he departs and fall into my own thoughts for a moment. Compared to him, I'm pretty... Oh, I don't like that word. That is an inappropriate word. I'm pretty uncoordinated. I woke up late, hit him in the face, left my things. He must... Or, disorganized. There we go. Disorganized is a much better word to use there. Left my things. He must wonder how I get around on my own. But every cloud has a silver lining. If I hadn't left my things, I wouldn't have made a new friend in class. If I can call Ted that. He seemed like he was keeping a professional distance from me during our whole conversation. I guess it'll just take some time. We have... Sorry, the whole semester to get to know each other. Wow, hit by a yawn there. Alright, where are we going? Okay. I think we should get some fresh air. You accidentally smacked a supply teacher around the head with your rucksack at the grammar school once, and you were mortified that you did that. Yeah, I would be too. Park. Do some jogging, relax in nature, observe people. Okay. So, observe people first. Get some clues. Ooh, I didn't know the park had a place like this. Investigating this place was a great idea. We are going to then relax in nature. Saw some cool wildlife today. The world can be so beautiful. Now we are going to go to a restaurant. Sounds expensive. I think we should probably go to the convenience store. What? Convenience store. Let's check customers. Hey, that guy looks like he knows what he's talking about. Maybe he's way off track, but it's still something. There we go. So, we got minus morale, minus energy, but that's okay. We got 5% Ted! Darren looks like Harry Potter. Another day has ended. Pay attention to what each character says and how she behaves. It won't be hard to find out which is his or her associated stat. Oh, I guess zeal, diligence, amity, and wit. Maybe Ted responds to amity. Nothing is better than a good night of sleep. Today was a regular day in class. I managed to learn something new, and I feel I could do better. I looked down at my phone and quirked an eyebrow at the words I'd just jotted down in my notes. Okay, so I'm at the football field. Yep, this is definitely the football field. I see the giant yellow goalpost poking from behind the bleachers. What I don't see is Chandra, and this is where she told me to go. She has cheerleading practice today, but somehow she forgot her special cheerleading shoes in our room. So being the wonderfully awesome roommate that I am, I offered to bring them to her. But her directions are so confusing. I wrote them out on my phone, but I didn't realise how complicated they were until I had started following them. Ugh, girl directions, I should have known. I'm pretty damn good at directions, actually. That is a sexist statement. Well, I made it this far, and if movies and televisions are telling the truth, I should find the locker room somewhere close by. That's where she'd be, I think. A brief glance around, and I see some sort of building nearby. I don't have any better guess as to where the locker rooms could be, so I figure that must be it. Even if it isn't, I could at least find someone to ask for directions. Maybe I'll even find Chandra somewhere in there. Either that, or get terribly lost. I push that possibility to the back of my mind and head on over. The inside of the building is all white walls and blue doors are school colours. When I spot football posters over the walls, it looks promising this is some sort of sports facility, but there's like no directions here or anything. How do they expect people like me to find their way around? Oh, I really have to find Chandra before practice starts. She's left shoeless. Through some combination of dumb luck and the right-hand rule, it's not long before I wander into a room with rows of lockers against the walls. Ha! I did it! This building is where the locker rooms are held. This is probably Pie's locker. Surprisingly clean in here. There's a stray water bottle and a few towels left on the benches. Some shoes are messily shoved in a cubby under the lockers, but it's not like there's stuff littered on the floors. Wait. Take a better look at the shoes in the cubbies. Those look like guy shoes! Doesn't that mean... Before I have a chance to finish that thought, some guy walks into my view. All the blood drains from my face as I see him. He's a tall guy, with messy blonde hair and sharp blue eyes that widen as he sees me. In his hands is a recently wrung football jersey, and the only thing covering its top is a pair of shoulder pads, which still leaves his abs deliciously in view. Okay, I shouldn't stare. Okay, I shouldn't even be here with this nearly shirtless guy. I fail to find words and start sputtering like a moron before turning and running out of the locker room. I press myself flat against a nearby wall and sink to the floor. Oh, man, that was so embarrassing. Why? You're an adult? My head pops up as I hear footsteps. Please don't tell me. Yo. Hesitantly, I look up to meet the blue eyes of that guy from before. Thankfully, he's wearing his jersey now, and I see the number 9 printed on his chest. What's he want? Can you leave me to die of embarrassment, please? Heh, heh, hi. I quickly try to shrug off the awkward situation and give him a sheepish grin. I'm really sorry about that. It's cool. I think you'd agree. I've got nothing to be ashamed of. The guy smirks cockily and swaggers a little closer. So, what do you think? Wiggly eyebrow things. Huh? His smirk smooths out into something a bit more suggestive. You like what you saw? Oh. It hits me a second later. Wait, are you serious? The guy gestures to his chest like it's a fine piece of art on display. Hey, I work hard for this body. I think I deserve a little appreciation for it sometimes. Hi, Reese. Thanks for the raid. Nice to see you. So you think this guy's a jerk because he has nice abs, Steve? That's a little bit judgmental. Thanks for the host, Dave and Reese. Pre-verbally? Is that what you meant to say? It's his attitude about it. Well, you've worked so hard for that body. I mean, come on. Little appreciation, Steve. He is gorgeous. Still, is that really something you should be asking someone you barely know? Kind of desperate. Says the girl who was just scoping out the boys' locker room. Oh, and thanks for the host, Scruff. I grumble and ball up my fists. That was an accident. It's not like I did it on purpose. Accident here. Huh? So you're a lady perv and blind? Kind of an oxymoron. The guy leans against the wall, and it's only then that I notice there's a plaque that says men's locker room. He knocks it with the back of his knuckles victoriously. Ah, must have missed that. My admission makes the guy burst out in laughter, and I hold back a blush so he doesn't get the satisfaction. He's seriously starting to get on my nerves. Who is this guy? Don't laugh at me. Who do you even think you are? The guy stops cold and he looks at me like I've asked an impossibly stupid question. Who am I? You're asking who I am? What, you've been under a rock? You're looking right at mighty number 9, Kurt Madry, quarterback of the football team. He holds up a finger, leans into me and... Not only that, but I'm only a freshman, one of the few that made the cut this year, I might add. I don't buy it. The guy, or Kurt, deflates like a balloon, and I certainly hope that his ego does the same thing. Come on, I've got the jersey, don't I? Sure, but if you're just a freshman, of course I wouldn't hurt you. But it's not every day a guy like me joins the team. Usually I'd be pissed at anyone who doubted me, but since you're a mighty fine babe, I think I can let it slide. Just this once. I mean, I'm rolling my eyes at him, but he, confronted by a half-naked man, you're gonna stare. He grins at me like he's done me the world's biggest favour, and I scowl. Yeah, this guy is definitely annoying. You still haven't told me your name, so you're not only blind, but mute too. Stop making ableist jokes! It's gonna bug me, this game is, isn't it? It's Nicole. Nicole Grave. There. Happy? Nicole Grave. The way that Kurt says my name like it's a flavour in a new line of dessert makes me never want to hear him say my name again. It's so objectifying. Alright, Grave, if you weren't trying to peek on the football team, what were you doing here in the first place? I roll my eyes. It's Grave? We're not in the army. I'm trying to find my friend. She's on the cheerleading squad, but she forgot something. I'm trying to get it back to her. That's it. Easy. The cheerleaders are at the practice field straight north of here. You can't miss it. Oh, thanks. It totally sounds forced, but I have to give credit where credit is due. Even if this is Kurt doing his best to push my buttons. No problem. You're lucky I was here to save your ass. Yes, whatever would I have done without you? I made sure my sarcasm isn't lost on him before walking away, unable to stand Kurt's presence for a second longer. However, I don't get too far before I hear him yell after me. Hey, wait. Oh, what? I look over my shoulder and see Kurt give me another suggestive grin. You didn't answer my question before. Question? Oh, you mean if I liked what I saw? You can tell it to me straight. I'm used to ladies loving the guns. Kurt brings up both arms to flex. Not going to lie, Kurt has a nice body for sure. But do I really want to feed his ego even more? I mean, I do like a nice, good pair of arms. You think that's all it's going to take to impress me? There we go. Apparently, yes. We get a +5 for that. It's my turn to smirk now as I come up with a response. I know your type. My type? Yeah, you're the type of guy who thinks he can waltz up to any girl he wants, show some muscle, and should be putting in your grubby man hands. Oh, newsflash. It's gonna take more than a 6-pack to impress any girl worthwhile. Especially me. You're gonna need a lot more than that. I expect Kurt to yell and give me a chance to make a getaway, but he just stays quiet and gives me a hard look. It's kind of unsettling. Then what's your type then? My type? I could have hit myself when I realised I sound just like him. You mean, what type of guy I like? What else? I've never thought too hard about it. I cocked my head and hummed thoughtfully. Call me shallow, but I hope I find him attractive. I want a guy who's funny too. It helps if he's smart, has a good personality. Oh, and bonus points if you buy me clothes whenever I want. He'll be super awesome. Ha! Just like Wonder Man. Wonder Man, you mean that superhero? Duh. Who else? Kurt shakes his head and holds out a hand to stop me before I get carried away. I'm talking about real people, only Grave, not some creepy crush you have on some made-up character. Yeah, I didn't see I had a crush on Wonder Man. Anymore, I add silently. The short answer is my attraction is too complicated, like most people's. You'd know that if you didn't chase anything with boobs and a pulse. Not that I know for sure, but I bet I'm right. Maybe that's just how I roll. Simple, no strings attached, but every now and then I get in the mood for something a little more complex. I see him eye me from top to bottom and I shudder and back away. In your dreams, you sicko? Is that an invitation? Kurt grins infuriatingly at me as I groan loudly. I don't care about entertaining him any longer. I'm getting out of here. I'm going to find my friend before I vomit. I make it a point to avoid his stare, but as I walk away, I hear him bid me goodbye. Don't think I'm going to let you get away that easy, Grave. I need to keep my eye on someone like you. I face him and just glare. Bite it, madre. And with that, I'm on my way. Man, Chandra's gonna owe me big time after this. I mean... yes. Excuse me. He's an ass, but arms. Do some socializing. My amity is good. Friends are the best. They always know how to make me laugh. We got 2 more amity. And we got a 5% hurt. And I just got a photo. Of crafty things. Ooh, pretty. My friend makes paper flowers. And when I say paper... Ooh, and thank you for the hosts. I'm Dopey, Paul, and Jesse. And when I say paper flowers, I mean they look like the real flowers. They're not just like, I would make paper flowers where they're a bit ridiculous. They look like the real thing. It's ridiculously impressive. So now we have 5% Kurt to go with our 5% Ted. I like Ted. I do not like Jeff. So far, Jeff is the most suspicious. So each activity raises a specific stat. We need to find something to raise something other than amity. Today was regular day in class. Okay. I'm so done. Done! And I'm only halfway through the assigned reading, but I need a break. My head feels thick from laws and legal jargon. Oh, I feel you, Nate. I feel you. Chandra isn't here either. She's out leading cheers or something. Good for her, but bad for me. I'm so bored with no one to talk to. I briefly consider a nap to rest and recharge, but the open screen of my laptop is too inviting. I'm logging onto my favourite blogging site, Roller. Seconds after the idea pops into my head. I actually run a blog on the site. It's pretty popular, even if I do just talk about my hobbies. I usually write funny stories about my day, post pictures of clothes or interesting things I see, and interact with friends I made online. It's a lot of fun. It's a way to express myself. Think of it like this. Musicians use instruments as their artistic medium. Poets use paper. In my case, I use a computer. It actually sounds kind of lame now I think about it, but I promise it's way better than making it sound. Before I forgot to mention it, my username is Hota Kucher. Pretty easy to remember, right? Lots of people on Roller just know me as Hota though. I'm flicking the wheel of my mouse, scrolling down posts of the blogs I follow. Most of them are from my friends' blogs, but there are some posts from people I barely know. Case in point, this Voix guy. Voix is this totally cool blogger that's been getting super popular lately. It's not that he makes a huge number of posts or anything, he just has this unique, interesting way of thinking that draws you in. He got me with a series of posts dedicated to antique cars. Don't get me wrong, I'm not a gearhead. That's why my mind was seriously blown when I couldn't stop reading. Interesting. So what I'm doing today, I realised I forgot an hour into the stream and not asked how everyone's doing. Hopefully you're doing okay. We might have a very brief tea break. Hi, Paul! Don't mind us, we're just, you know, getting hit on by possibly slightly creepy, slightly hot, weird, nerdy guys. But it's fun. As you can tell, I'm a huge fan. The first time I ever read Vox's blog was about a week or so ago, and I instantly decided to follow him. From what I read, he's a mystery. He doesn't seem to interact with anyone on more than a casual level. All that's known is Vox is a guy, currently starting college, and is growing increasingly sensational day by day. But he has to be a great guy if he's so popular. No, that doesn't follow. Man, I wish I were friends with him. Well, he's probably the brown-haired dude we haven't met yet. Hi, Paul. Hi. Wait a second. I freeze in my seat as I read one of my new emails. It's a message from Roller. Ooh, Fox is now following you. A winner is you. Oh, be strong. You can do it. I'm about to leap from my seat. Seriously? I grab at my chest as the widest grin stretches my face. One of the coolest bloggers is following me. Ha! Total score. I checked the email date and it seems it was sent yesterday. You don't check your email in a day? Ugh. Call yourself a blogger. I hadn't been online at all to concentrate on the reading I had to do for my classes. Boo. Wait a second. I haven't thanked him for following me. What if he thinks I was ignoring him? Oh man, I don't want him to think I'm rude or anything. Alright, Nicole, calm down. Calm down. You can do this. Just think of something. Try to be polite. Try to act naturally. Act naturally. It's best to let this guy know what he's getting into. If you're going to be a friend of mine, you better learn how to handle me, baby. I can't say that with a straight face. After forcing myself to relax, I think up something to send him on Roller. Let's see. Hi, Vox. I nearly died when I read you followed me. I just wanted to message you to saying thank you so much and that I'm a huge fan of yours. That's good enough, I think. I steel myself for what I'm about to do and then click the send button. No going back now. All that's left is to see that if I scare him away or not. Blech. Yeah, I would never call anyone babe. Time seems to, not even myself. Time seems to move slowly from that moment on. I click out of the Roller tab and hum nervously to my music as I wait for any response from Vox. Suddenly I see a notification from Roller saying I have a new message. Okay, right. What would Voice of Ian try and do? We've already mangled Ted's voice. Kurt had a deep one, and Jeff was a posh one. I'm not very good at multiple guy voices. I'm gonna do 4 guy voices and make them all different. I must say that this was a welcome surprise. My enthusiasm may not be up to snuff compared to yours, but hello there, Haute Couture. No need to thank me for the follow. The honour is all mine. Right, so the guy might talk like he's out of an 18th century English novel, but there's something endearing about it. Smiling, I type a message back out to him. I didn't know following me could be considered an honour. You're such a sweetheart, Vox. No wonder you're so popular. I'm bouncing in my seat during the few minutes it takes him to reply. Oh, come on now, I'm not that popular. All I do is write my thoughts, perhaps blog an interesting picture here and there. Nothing so worthy as to deserve all of this Roller fame people say about me. I smirk. This guy just oozes modesty, and no, I'm not being sarcastic. Gosh. Well, they do say you can talk kind of funny. Why, yes, all the time, actually. I get more into the conversation as we continue. Soon we're talking about school, and I'm letting loose the details of my day-to-day academic life. Surely you're joking. The first month of the semester and you've already seen someone sleep in class. I have to stop myself from laughing. I warned him it was a funny story. I'm being 100% serious. This guy was napping, face down in his notebook and everything, because the professor totally wouldn't notice. Yes, the professor was probably much too busy fighting off his own urges to take an afternoon siesta. That's French, right? I almost had it confused for Spanish. Siesta, siesta, potato, potato. Looking at your username, it would be correct to assume you are knowledgeable in a few languages. Nah, the best I can do is order my food or curse the guy out. If you're looking for the bathroom, you'd have to ask another girl to help you. I will have to make do. Such a promising friend cannot be so easily disposed. Renzi says, catch me, I'm swooning. I'm afraid we'll have to place your fainting spell on hold for the moment. I've been neglecting some assignments, and while I don't regret how I spent my time, I will regret my terrible grade if I don't finish. Sprechen Sie Deutsch? Ja, ich spreche ein bisschen Deutsch. Why am I saying German with a freaking Scottish accent? Ja, ich spreche ein bisschen Deutsch, aber ich habe spreche and I haven't spoken it in a long time. I did it for A-levels. That was how many years ago? 20 years ago. Basically, I've forgotten all of it. Yeah, my French is better. Okay. German with a Scottish accent, exactly. Okay, I think we're going to sigh. Ooh, we could save. Right, I'm just going to have a quick tea break and get a chocolate bar. I'm dying for a chocolate bar, I don't know why. I will be back in 3 minutes? 3 minutes, probably. So, have some jaunty music, and I'll be right back. You said the B word. Hi, Cash. And I'm happy that you're happy, Steve. But yeah, it's a whisper. Sorry, it was longer than 3 minutes. It was 5 minutes because the whispers were in the other room, not in my cupboard, and I had to go riddle for them. But I'm back now. Also llamas. I lean back in my chair and sigh. It's been a while it lasted. I do have that reading assignment to do. I still have some stuff to read too, but I should be free tomorrow. I'll hit you up when I'm free, Fox. I bite my lip. Hopefully that's not too forward to suggest. We seem to have a good conversation going. I soon get his next message. Apparently he thought so as well. I would definitely enjoy that. Much like I enjoyed speaking to you this evening, I'm glad I made the wise decision to follow you. I read the words once more, and I know I'm beaming by the time I'm done. Want to hear another funny story? I'm stoked you did too. Okay. I'm gonna go dance. Why is it tea? Played my favourite songs all night. DJ must be psychic. I also lost me some money as well. 17? I wonder if this Darren person is going to turn out to be Vox. So I just dropped the wrapper on the floor. Job performance and earning money is affected by 3 stats: morale, energy, and the associated stat. For example, to do a good job as a clerk, you need high diligence. Okay. Fine. Dancing is still terrible, even without a chocolate bar. Okay, so I need to find out what amnesty is good for, because I seem to be able to keep getting that. So that I want that job, whatever that one is. Okie dokes. Campus. Ask about the disappearances. We're getting clues! Oh man, good stuff. I think I may have heard something useful. Now we're going to go to the gym. Or public park. Should we? I haven't been to the gym. Train at gym. Diligence. There we go, we got another stat. Oh yeah, I could crack an egg with one flex of these glutes. Ooh, we got some diligence. But it cost us money? Oh, it's just costing money. Library. No. Classroom. Ooh. Extra classes. Ooh. Okay, let's go be a cheerleader. We get some zeal. Awesome. Woohoo! 1, 2, 3, 4. Our team got the highest score. We should take some extra classes. We get some wit. So much fun. Why aren't all my classes this great? Hi! In. Another Steve. How you doing? I'm playing a dating simulator. Oh, I'm taking a bubble bath. costs £4 to take $4 to take a bubble bath. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm taking a double bath. A bubble bath. I have $1. I need a job. Silky smooth. Okay, so I got 12 zeal, 4 wit, lost some morale, lost some energy, and more money. Ah, after some time, the part-time job option will. There we are. Okay, so I'm not going to be able to buy anything. Let's socialise on campus. It doesn't cost anything, so that's good. Go, and then I'm going to ask about the disappearances. Get some more clues. Clues are good. We have 43 clues. Clues are good. Okay, so we're going to go jogging. Assuming that doesn't cost anything. Ooh, we get some diligence and morale. Broke my personal distance record today, and it feels great. Okay, so we have no money. Ooh, do homework. Should probably do that. Nailed it. A+ for sure. Okay, we got 6 diligence, 3 amity, 2 wit. And it costs us nothing. Regular day in class. Okay. Good. Yeah, no, I've been doing good. I'm going to do some relaxing in nature. Get my morale and energy up. Yeah, it's bumpy, but it finally seems to be sorting itself out. So tired of lockdown, but obviously, you know, it's important. Yeah, it's been a long time. It's been a long time. Okay, observe, peoples. Okay, and now we are going to look for suspicious behavior. We're basically doing investigating because investigating is free. And just waiting until we can get a job. Ooh, the clear panel paned doors slide up with the ding as I step onto the black welcome mat of the convenience store. I'm on a snack run today. Chandra and I are running low on our stash, so I've wanted to go shopping. I have $1. Chandra has some cheer thing to take care of, so she couldn't come with me. It's no biggie. This way I can pick up the snacks and pretend like it was just a coincidence. I'll just keep that secret from Chandra, though. I'm on the hunt for gummy snacks. Cookies and maybe something salty. Corn chips sound so good right now, but maybe I'm being too healthy. Salt and vinegar. On the other hand, my mouth waters as I think of the utter sinfulness of that flavour. Yes, I've decided I'm getting salt and vinegar chips, and no one is going to stop me. Out of the way, people, these chips are mine. Though, there aren't many customers at the convenience store, which is really weird since this is the closest one to campus. It's clean too, and everything's super organised. Might as well be a mini grocery store. Yeah, I don't think we're going to go back to normal. But yeah, fingers crossed for a vaccine so I can actually, you know, leave the house. Side effect of living in London. I wonder why it's so empty right now. It's not like it's some weird time of day. It's the afternoon. Oh well, whatever. I guess that's just how business is. The guy at the register gives me an acknowledging, if half-hearted glance, then goes back to flipping through the pages of a magazine he's laid on the counter. Well, it's not like I was expecting great customer service here. I head to the racks of food and down the thin aisle where they seem to keep the chips. So many brands, so many different styles of salt and vinegar. I do like mingles, but I like lies too. You know what they say? Delicious. Lays, which is Walker's. Yeah, that wasn't their best slogan. Pick up a can of mingles and a bag of lies and compare the sizes. Oops, excuse me. They're both roughly around the same, and there's only $50 difference between the two. Ugh, this is hard. I weigh the packages in my hands, dipping them like they were on opposing ends of a scale. Excuse me, miss, any trouble here? Ah, cute. I bite back a smirk as I hear someone speak to me with a southern accent. Small world, that reminds me of Ted from the other day. What is Ted? I look up to say that I'm fine, but I stop once I see who I'm addressing. No wonder this guy made me think of Ted. It is Ted! Oh, hey, Ted, I didn't recognise your voice there. Ted flatly regards my enthusiasm. You'd think I'd stand out to you even more since we spoke, but howdy, Nicole. You need some help? I'm getting snacks for me and my roommate. I hold up the chips on either side of my head. What do you think? Mingles or lies? What's your favourite? Ted squints his eyes and takes a good look at both of the choices. If I had to pick, I'd go with lies, just personal preference. Good enough for me. I'm about to set the can of Mingles back on a row, but Ted clicks his tongue angrily at me. What are you doing? Put it back where you found it. Huh? Oh, sorry, geez. I take the Mingles can and take a few steps back to where I got it. I didn't think it was such a big deal. The customers never do. Let's see how you fancy having to fix the merch every day. Then come back and tell me it ain't such a big deal. Oh, you work here, Ted? Why else would I be offering to help you? It's my job. Dunno, to be nice. I'm not that nice. The sad thing is, I don't think Ted's being sarcastic right now. So if you work here, does that explain what the heck you're wearing? I didn't want to say anything at first, but when I saw Ted, but that grey jumpsuit he has on looks really weird. What's wrong with what I'm wearing? You look like you just got off your shift from a mechanic shop. Hey, these uniforms are supposed to be utilitarian. If it had all them frills and garlands, it'd get in the way of work. That just defeats the purpose. Keep quiet for a few moments. You picked these out, didn't you? Ted stubbornly crosses his arms and turns his nose at me. Wow, you totally did pick those out. So what? They're not that half bad? I sigh and shake my shoulders. If you don't mind being a walking fashion disaster, sure. They are not that bad. But they're not that good either. Well, I respectfully disagree. Ted forces a smile on his face that strains his entire expression. Now, can I help you with anything else, miss, or will I be forced to escort you off the premises? Yeah, he's definitely not being sarcastic now. I chuckle awkwardly to ease the tension between the two of us. Maybe this is why the store is so empty this time of day. Can you show me where you keep your cookies and gummies too? All I need to do is snag some of those and I'm all set. They're here in the next aisle over. Ted gestures for me to follow him and leads the way. We stop in front of neat rows of packaged cookies and my eyes light up as I contemplate which ones to pick. The same happens when Ted takes me over to the gummy snacks. What can I say? Variety is the spice of life. Sour gummies. Oh, exactly, SK. I've yet to find ones that are actually sour. I always say that. I love ones that have like the sherbet on as well. I really like sherbet. Eventually I end up with a nice collection going and it takes the crook of my entire arm to carry them all. Yep, this is definitely more than enough. I've got $1. How am I going to pay for this? I noticed that Ted looks really weirded out by how many snacks I'm getting. Do you really need that much junk food? Hey, this is supposed to be like a few weeks worth of food. It's not like we're going to pig out on... I know, but that's still a ton of sugar and unsaturated fat for 2 people. You're going to gain weight eating those. I just stared at him for a moment. Did he seriously just... Oh, I'm going to pretend you didn't say that? What did I say? Ted gawks at me as I groan impatiently and slide past him towards the cashier. I just want to check out my snacks and go at this point. Too bad the guy at the counter is already beating me to it. He's like halfway through the door. When Ted sees this, he pushes past me and towards the guy. Hey, where do you think you're going? So the guy's wearing the same ugly jumpsuit that Ted has on, so I'm guessing he works at the convenience store too. I'm taking off. My shift's over for the day. No, it ain't. Remember I told you have to work a few extra hours today to make up for the vacation time you took? Hey, can't you just forget those? It's not like anything's ever going on. No one's going to care if I'm not here. Oh, God. It's like Ross's co-workers, except without the bad accents. I hear Ted growl under his breath. I bet he'd have an animated vein pulsing on his forehead if this was some type of cartoon. Listen here, punk, I don't care what your lazy excuse for a reason is, but you made a commitment to this job. As your superior, you follow what I say, and I'm telling you to stay and do your hours. Got it? Oh, I got it all right. The guy turns on his heels and runs out the sliding door. Neither Ted or I react with more than a blink until we realise what happened. He totally just ran away. That son of a gun, get your ass back here! Ted bolts off past the glass doors and I awkwardly hang back, wondering what to do. It'd be bad to leave the store unattended, but I want to see what Ted does to this guy. Call it morbid curiosity. However, when Ted drags himself back into the convenience store, I can tell there were no beatdowns to be had. He curses under his breath and heads back behind the counter himself. Did you get him? Ted stays quiet as he punches a few keys on the register. I wasn't running as fast as I usually do, so that bastard gave me the slip. Poor guy, nothing was worse than a bruised ego. I humour him with a sympathetic nod. So what do we do now? There's no helping, I'll be the one to check you out. Is it too much to ask for competent work around here? Ooh, can I have a job please? I have $1. Ted reaches out and snatches a snack from my arm, wringing it through the register way more aggressively than he should. He's gonna break my cookies if he keeps that up. Dump the rest of my snacks on the counter as neatly as I can. I don't want to have Ted screaming at me for having some messy row or something. Always the same damn thing. Get an application, meet them, they promise they'll work hard from the start, and I end up having to chase them out the door when they decide to skip out on work. I notice him ringing my bag of gummy bears in his hands. I tentatively raise my voice. Dad? I gesture at his hands. Ted looks down at the plastic bag he's nearly crumpled into a ball and gasps. Ooh, sorry. It just really grinds my gears when people half-ass things like this. Gummies. Oh no, I really want gummies. Damn it, my order's not till, next Saturday. Week Saturday. Ugh. I'm just gonna have to order sweets then. Got chocolate, but not gummies. Don't you think? Ted looks at me expectantly for a response. I can sympathise with the guy, but I really just want my snacks here. He had a good excuse. He should have worked it out first. I couldn't say. He should have worked it out first. When I think it over, the guy was pretty ridiculous. Ted could have done it better, but was justified in yelling like he did. You shouldn't have ran out like that. It didn't sound like you were being unreasonable. Yay! I like Ted, even if he's slightly weird and grumpy, because, yeah. Thank you. At least someone's got some dang sense. Ted smiles in relief when he hears me agree with him, but unfortunately I'm going to have to rain on his parade. I held up a finger. But you could have worded what you said much better. You didn't even try to listen to the guy. Ted groans and braces himself against the counter, readying an explanation. He's done this before. He'll promise to make up his hours later, then he'll never get round to doing it. It's useless to try reasoning with slackers like that. See, that's what I'm talking about. You can't go around calling people slackers. I lean against the counter into Ted. You kind of lack tact, my friend. Scratch that. You really lacked tact. Ted frowns at me as he starts scanning in my bag of lies. Okay, he needs to be especially careful with those. I think I have tact. If you did, you wouldn't have went and told a girl she's going to gain weight. We're sensitive to these kinds of things. I have my shoulders playfully, feigning the very image of a sensitive flower. Ted stares at me, not buying it. But you're skinny, what's the problem? I'd only pointing out that you'd ruin your figure if you ate too much is a fact. I sigh and lean away, breaking form. Yep, totally tactless. Shut up, don't call me tactless. And you're so yelly. I'm right here. You can talk normally. I'm not. Ted stops himself as he hears how yelly he's getting and quietly starts bagging my snacks, rambling. Maybe I can get a wee bit yelly. Just a bit. Ted lets out a self-derisive laugh, and I smile as he finally seems to relax again. Yelling's a necessity, okay? I wouldn't waste my breath if I didn't have to, but no one listens to the guy in charge unless he gets loud. Yeah. Oh, so you're the boss of this place? Technically, the place is owned by my pa. Call it nepotism, but someone's got to take control of the place while he's busy. I thought his dad was a police officer. Or is his pa his grandpa? Yeah, this is the guy from the Criminology class. You're super late, Dan. It's okay. Did you have to take Milo for a walk? Did he eat your socks today? Was there a sandwich? We have to know all these things. And also, yes, this game is good. It's got some unfortunate wording that I'm not happy with, but so far we've met 3 of the 4 guys. I'm fairly certain I know who did it. After literally meeting one of them and having 3 words. So we're going to do a poll and see who everyone thinks it is when we get to that point. But it has to be hard working and going to school like this. Talk about pressure. Oh, and there's bad accents. It can get like that sometimes, but it just means I need to buckle down and work harder. Nothing's impossible. Ted hands me a plastic bag filled with all the snacks I picked out. Jeez, he makes everything sound so easy. Here you go. Now for your total. The price makes my wallet squirm in my back pocket. I have $1! Anything is going to make my wallet squirm. But I guess it could have been way worse if I shopped anywhere else. I pay Ted the amount with my debit card, then take the bag. You want your receipt? I shake my head and Ted crumples the receipt in his hand. Okay, then you're set. Have a nice day. Thanks, you too. I hang the bag on my knees and grin chokingly at Ted. Maybe next time I can get a discount since I'm cozy with the boss. I don't even allow myself discounts. Ted says this with such a straight face that I wonder why he thought he'd even play around with my joke at all. Can we get a job? Tidy up my room. Diligence. Well, I think we want to get a job at Ted's store, so we need diligence for the clerk job. Smells so fresh and lemon scented. Okay, diligence +3, morale -25, energy -18. Okay. We have 10% Ted. Yeah, I want a part-time job option. Regular day in class. Okay, so study! Yes, let's have a study in the library. Got some wit. Then examine night activities? Sure. So I didn't run into anyone I kind of knew, but I learnt more about the usual nightlife. Now I can point out any oddities in a flash. Got 11 wit. Nice. Day 11. Okay. Let's sleep. I feel very refreshed and motivated to learn new stuff. I did great in class today. Awesome. Gym. Play volleyball? Doesn't cost anything. Good. I need money. Yes, I know I need to get a job, but I don't have that option yet. Spike! Woo! In your face! I don't think we can... Cost 30. Cost 30. That's not going to happen. That costs 100. Don't have that kind of cash. Let's check out the customers. Some more clues. Okay, +3 zeal. Yes. Friday the 13th. Oh dear. I strike as soon as anthropology class is over. I arrive early to my economics class and smile to myself as I see nearly all the seats are free. There's something really satisfying about being one of the first people to reach class. You pick up the seats, you can watch everyone else pile in and silently judge them. I mean, I don't do that. Okay, maybe a little. But it's nice to be able to relax and not feel hurried to sit down. That's why I make sure to get to class as early as often as possible. Early as often as possible. I don't want to be stuck in the pre-class traffic jam at the back. Ugh, ain't no one got time for that. Take a seat near my usual area, towards the front and centre. I want to see everything that my professor is writing on the board, so this is the perfect place to be. Once I get settled and my bag's tucked away near my feet, I pull out my laptop to prep for class. It only takes a few minutes, not that I expected it to take a while. All I have to do is pull up a blank doc, sit back, and then log on to Roller. I don't have anything better to do, it couldn't hurt. I scroll down, admiring different pictures of clothes and scenarios, when I suddenly reach a photo set that makes me want to groan. Ugh. It's just a bunch of different pictures of Wonder Man put together, like totally harmless on their own. It reminds me of that run-in I had with that one guy. What's his name? Kurt Madry? I asked Chandra about him when I finally got her shoes to her that day. He wasn't lying when he said he was the quarterback or when he claimed to be a freshman, just like me. They call him some kind of football star, like a football prodigy even. At least that's what the other girls on Chandra's cheerleading team said. Kurt's apparently really popular in those athletic circles. That's cool enough. But it still doesn't make me like him. He was totally out of line when he was talking to me. If I see him again, it'll be too soon. My phone is buzzing. Crap, I got myself worked up. Turn back to Roller in hopes it'll set me down and slowly works. More people start showing up to class as I web surf, and I briefly take notice before returning to my laptop screen. That is until I see him. I see Kurt freaking Madry waltz into the classroom, and my heart plummets in my chest faster than an anvil off a cliff. I pray that he's only lost or something. Please be lost. Please don't be taking the same econ class as me. Hi, Paul! Either way, I hunch forward to try and shield my face from view with my laptop screen. But let's face it, that's a lame disguise, and lame disguises never work. Well, well, well. I can hear Kurt chuckle gloatingly to himself. Why is he even doing that? It's not like there's a prize for spotting me in this empty row. You're in this Econ 2 Class 2, Grove? Crap, I sigh. Unfortunately. It must be just my lucky year then. I can't believe this. How could I not have known? Shouldn't I have vaguely recognised him when we first met? I didn't know you were in this class either. Where do you usually sit? Oh, today's my first time attending. Is that a bad joke? No, completely serious. Just didn't feel like it. Figured I wouldn't have to. Did you know there's a test coming up, like, soon? Which is why I started coming to class. Kurt points to his head. As if it should have been obvious that I thought this out, and I can only stare at him, dumbfounded by his logic. Cool, sleep well, loving, and thank you for stopping by. I don't know what to say. You could invite me to take a seat. No? I'm so adamant about this, it's not even funny. We'll sit in the back like all the other losers? Hey, Count Madry ain't a loser, he's a damn winner. Besides, I don't see anyone else sitting here. Smug grin, he takes a seat next to me, and I don't bother arguing the point. It's not worth causing a scene to make him move. I'll just ignore him when the teacher starts talking, and it'll be fine. I can do this. However, the moment I catch him glancing at my screen, I shoot him a glare. It's not that I'm particularly embarrassed of anything I have on screen. For now, it's just annoying. Don't do that. Do what? Look at my screen while I'm doing stuff? It's creepy. Kurt makes it a point to keep his position. He smirks at me and starts drumming his fingers against the table, as if waiting for me to continue with what he's doing. Or what I was doing. Go on. I just stare at him. He keeps drumming those fingers. We've reached a stalemate. You know you seriously suck? No, Grave, I think you'll find that I rule. We don't have a chance to retort. Our economics professor enters the classroom and places his briefcase on the table at the head of class. Man, I have never been as happy to see the teacher as I am now. I click out of my browser as class begins and focus on my teacher as he begins his lecture. This guy explains a lot, so he tends to rush, so I have to keep on my game if I want to understand what he's saying. But as the lecture proceeds, it's hard not to notice Kirk next to me. Can we just tell this dude to naff off? I wish we could, Steve. I wish we could. The guy has a notebook and pen out, but it's like he's not paying attention at all. Thank you for the sub, Nikki. And hi. 3-month hype! Or month 3 hype, I suppose. Well, okay, that's kind of too mean to say. He does look like he's trying. He writes after our teacher talks, and I can see a few lines of the page are scratched in with notes, but he's definitely having a hard time keeping up. Well, if Kirk came to class, he would have known how fast his teacher talks. Still, I do feel bad for him. A little. Alright, a lot. Sometimes I think I'm way too nice for my own good. Class ends, and I silently sigh in relief. That wasn't too bad. I got most of the material down, and I actually understood it. Kurt, however, doesn't look like he had the same luck. He leans back in his seat, and I can hear him tiredly groan under his breath. Everything okay? I'm hating myself for taking this class. I didn't know it'd be this damn hard. Just try showing up more, maybe you'll actually learn something that way. I take on a tone of light-hearted teasing, but Kurt looks very unamused. Geez, it was just a joke. I've got the hiccups now. Yeah, well, I didn't find it very funny, Grave. Kurt slams his notebook close and reaches on his table to pull his backpack out. Do you, need this class? What are you thinking for your major? I don't know, business. He says it so non-committally that I wonder if he just thought of that right now. Well, then you'll definitely need this class. I'm only taking it for the GE. I'm assuming general education. The vest should be a crime. Actually, I agree with you there, Ray. Hi, Ray. I'm actually thinking of majoring in law. Law, huh? Didn't peg you as the type. The type? You better not be saying that I don't look smart. I had enough of that crap back in high school. Sorry, had to make the emoji bigger. The law type. When you think of someone going into law, you think tight suits and turned noses and stuff, but you're not like that. For one thing, you're way too sizzling, though hell, I bet you pull off a sexy librarian look really well. I want to slap him now, or kick him in the nads. And you say I tell awful jokes? Being completely serious here, but whatever, what about me? Kurt does that thing where he gestures at himself like I should be honoured to bask in his glory. Can you imagine this fine specimen of a man going into business? Trust me, I can rock a suit. Got the prom pics to prove it. I'll pass on the pics, thanks, but you in business? I take a moment to imagine it. Can I really see Kurt doing well in the business world? I don't like him. I'm gonna say that's way too funny. It's gonna piss him off, but I think it's appropriate to the way he's acting. I imagine Kurt in a suit and tie, and even huge Coke bottle glasses, and the image is so ridiculous that I unintentionally start giggling. Kurt takes notice immediately and wriggles his brow. Are you laughing? No. That's such an obvious lie. I'm covering my mouth and my body shakes a little from my previous attack of giggles. Okay, I am. Sorry. It's really hard to imagine you doing the business thing. Kurt clicks his tongue and crosses his arms, obviously annoyed and offended that I'd even think of laughing at him. Cut it out, I'm gonna get mad. Like you're not already? Kurt shoots me a look that shows he means business, and I do my best to quickly sober up. I feel bad for laughing at him, but it was reflexive, I couldn't control it. Okay. If not a businessman, maybe a professional football player? I mean, you've been playing it for a while, right? Kurt laughs and loosens up now that we've shifted gears. Thank goodness, I was getting a little scared before. You could say that, yes. Aha! Evans remains. Cool, I think I'd earmark that one as well. So I shall do that, and I'll pick a day when you're actually here for the entire stream. So I will coordinate with you later. You could say that, yes. Kurt beams as he starts going into his story. I started playing football. My go-to accent, in inverted commas, in these games is apparently Joe Scottish. I did German and Scottish earlier, and it was hilarious. After holiday. Okay, sounds good. I started playing football when I was just a kid, around the age of 8 or 9. Totally dominated such football league, and just made my way up from there. I had got into this school through an athletic scholarship. Scouts came to one of my big games, saw me rock the field, and the rest is history. Kurt waggles his eyebrows at me. You impressed yet, Grave? I know it's question. There's something I don't understand. Wait, so do you like playing football? Like it? I love it. The feeling you get when you're running down that field, your eyes zero in on the ball, you get your hands in position. Kurt mimes the action like someone just threw a pass from the other side of the classroom. It's freaking awesome. Gets you way pumped up and I can't get enough of it. Then why go into business? That's the one who's surprised now. He looks at me like he didn't understand what I just said, and I repeat myself. Why business? If you love football so much and you're obviously really into it, why not stick to it? There's a beat, and Kurt glances away to scratch the backside of his head. Going pro is tough, at least that's what I've heard. You got to keep your body in shape, and one single bad injury can end your whole career. Besides, my dad's big on business. Once I graduate, he can just hook me up with a job in one of his companies somewhere. Is that really his reasoning? I don't know if his dad is really some big hotshot businessman, but if he is, wow, spoiled much, Kurt? Kurt suddenly looks around as if remembering where we are. The whole class is empty. We've seriously just been sitting here talking the whole time. Whoa, this place is deserted. I guess I got too caught up in our conversation to notice. Surprisingly the truth, and Kurt seems oddly pleased by it. It's the Madry charm. Girls get a taste of it, and they're hooked. Kurt leans in, eyeing me like a predator locked on a tasty morsel of meat. Of course you're free to taste whenever. Don't you dare finish that sentence, or I'll hit you right in your Madry charms. Hoist my shoulder back to show I mean business, and Kurt laughs. His hands raised, palms outwards. Chill out, Grave. You'll ruin your face if you get all angry like that. He rises from his seat and slings his backpack over one shoulder before waving me off with a raise of his hand. I'm going to jet now. Got to get ready for some team practice. Later, Grave. Yeah, bye. Don't even look at him as he leaves the classroom, leaving me all alone. That is annoying. I can't deny that, but I think I kind of get how he ticks now. It's interesting to hear about him, if I'm going to tell the truth. However, he's still a pig. To think I was even going to offer to lend him my notes. I mean, you think you should have. Okay, cafeteria, campus. I think we should study because it is a good thing to do and it gives us wit. We need to have our wits about us. And then I think we should do some socializing because that's important. Oh, it's not 1.3. It's 1 to 3, as in it's a random chance how much you get. Okay, so we got 3 amity, 6 wit. Minus energy, but morale went even. It's good. We didn't get any more with Kurt, but then we're not trying to woo him. Since the amount of clues increase are related to all the other stats, you might want to wait before starting the investigation until you've raised them a bit more, okay? What I really want to do is just get a job. Diligence. Extra classes? Right, that gives me wit. That gives me diligence. Cheerleading gives me zeal. Diligence, jogging. Let's do some jogging. I've just realised we have clues 69 and I'm going to giggle. Because I am a child. Let's take some extra classes, because why not? Wit is useful. End of the day, +2 diligence, +10 wit. Gifts are a good way to increase. Ooh, only 5 gifts that each boy will like. Okay. Let's do some jogging. 5 diligence, yes. And some cheerleading. It's important to increase all our stats. And we should do some amity. Socialize? It's only 1 to 3 though. 2 this time. Cool. Regular day. Oh, this is the building my professor mentioned, I think. Standing outside of a tall building, one of the newer ones. Judging from its appearance. Apparently my professor's lab is located in here somewhere. I kind of have this thing where I like to get to know my teachers as soon as possible. It was super easy in high school, and my teachers there said it was a good habit to take with me to college. But apparently you can't go to talk to your professor whenever you want. You have to wait for this thing called office hours to go and talk to them. I was about able to meet with my other 3 teachers, but my bio professor apparently has some weird meeting to go to. So after asking, well, pestering through emails, him about talking, he agreed to meet with me. The only catch is I have to swing by his lab instead of his office. I guess he works during this time. Pretty nice of him to meet with me, even though he's busy. Maybe all those emails had something to do with it. I have the room number of his lab, so finding it is all a matter of following directions on the lobby map. After a few flights of stairs and some number of halls, I finally reach what has to be my professor's lab. Quietly, I slide the door open and peek my head inside. Wow, it's really clean in here. That's a good thing. Black surfaced lab stations are lined down the middle of the room, and on the right side are 2 fume hoods with different coloured knobs. Ugh, I feel like a fish out of water in here. I don't know what anything is. 2 students in lab coats and goggles are working at the lab station, and a girl happens to look over when I walk in. She makes a face like I'm a wet dog coming out of the rain. Am I not wanted or something? Can I help you? Obviously she's talking to me. Oh yeah, I was just looking for Professor Garver. Is he in right now? He stepped out for a bit. He needs to get something from the lab storage downstairs. The girl gives me a look from head to toe. Who are you exactly? She's in one of Garver's classes. To my surprise, I see Jeff stepping up to greet me. His goggles pushed up into his hair, he gives me a small wave and a smile as we lock eyes. He did say they had a position in this lab now that I think about it. You might be a while, so if you don't mind, I can take care of you while you wait. He looks to his fellow lab worker and tilts his head. No problems with that, right? Just make sure she follows lab safety rules, Jeff. She leaves it at that and returns to her work. Jeez, I know I'm not some kind of sciencey person. Come on. What does she mean by lab safety rules? Jeff lowers his goggles over his eyes and taps the sides with his gloved hands. You're going to need one of these, and a lab coat. Oh, and some gloves too. Takes a look down at my feet. And your shoes are closed-toed, nice. Just put on what I told you and you'll be okay. Meet me back at your station, my station when you're done. Jeff gestures to the back of the lab, bringing my attention to a rack of hanging lab coats, then heads back to whatever experiment he was doing before I came in and interrupted the piece. Your reaction to any undergrad showing up to lab out of nowhere, looking like a fish out of water. Fair enough, Jessie. Jessie, and hi. Hope you're doing okay. There we go. None of the lab coats are flattering, so I just pick a medium-sized one and shrug it on eagerly. I've had the chance to wear one of these before, but there's just something about putting on a lab coat that makes you feel smart. After that, I snag a pair of lab goggles and gloves from the side and head on over to Jeff. He's in the middle of overlooking a pair of beakers, so I take the opportunity to pull the goggles over my eyes. The elastic band snaps snugly around the back of my head. So how do I look? Jeff looks up from his station and gives me a glance over. I strike a little pose in my lab coat and goggles, grinning. Perfect, you look lab ready. Yay! Okay, so what are you doing here? His lab station is a medley of beakers, test tubes, whatchamacallits, and various liquids already being heated on a hot plate. I take the opportunity to slip on the latex gloves at the site. I wouldn't want that all over my hands. I'm prepping to analyse chemical compositions. One of the main things we do in this lab is study the chemical constituents of soil, plants, water, and other materials. It's not exactly pharmacology, but it does have chemicals. Jeff loses me as his voice takes on this excited intellectual tone. I vaguely remember him sounding like this the last time we talked about chemicals. So you just study what kind of chemicals are in the thing? Or in what things? Jeff's smile hitches up in the corner. Yeah, that was a good one, Nicole, putting it so stupidly like that. You're funny. Forces a few more laughs under his breath as he turns back to experiments. I was actually serious though, and wait, did he just insult me? What did you mean by that? Shh, this is the important part now. Okay, I really don't like him either. He's the other way. I like Ted! And Fox, but we haven't met the other dude yet, so... I watch as Jeff moves through the efficiency of the assembly line. He pours, measures, stirs, filters, and then goes back to repeat the same process with the other chemicals. It's actually kind of amazing to watch, and I never thought I'd say that about someone working in a lab. Yep, that's our Jeff. I jolt as I hear the girl from before coming up behind me. She watches Jeff work with brief admiration before turning back to me. When he gets like this, it's hard to shake him out of it. You can say his name as much as you want, and it would be like you said nothing at all. Dang, so he's really in the zone? You can say that. He's somewhat of a role model for the younger students in the lab, and even some of the older ones. Smart, precise, and worst of all, the guy's too nice to hate. No, I'm sure I can manage. Garva loves him, and he's always there to help you if you need it. You don't think people like that exist, and then you meet someone like Jeff in the flesh, and you're like, dang, I really have to step it up. You know what I mean? Yeah, so what you mean is that Jeff is actually perfect? I flinch as I hear the crack of breaking glass behind me. What the? Whipping around, I see a mess of glass shards before Jeff's feet, and he's looking down at them all zoned out like he hadn't realised what happened. Jeff, what happened? Did you hurt yourself? The other lab assistant grabs Jeff's arm worriedly, and her touch seems to bring him back to a reality. Sorry, I was careless. That usually never happens. Jeff gestures to the corner of the lab at a container. Don't worry, I'll sweep everything up. Please go back to working, or I'm going to feel bad for disturbing you. Well, if you're sure that you're not hurt... She gives Jeff a final thorough look before returning to her station. Meanwhile, Jeff collects the dustpan and hand broom from atop the receptacle from earlier. He sighs as he kneels down and starts sweeping all the broken glass into the dustpan. At least there wasn't any chemical in the test tube I dropped. Jeff, you sure nothing happened? Of course, Nicole. I was just careless. It all sucks, but that's how it is, I guess. Uh-huh. I'm gonna believe you accidentally dropped a test tube right after watching you in action like that? I point right at him. Something tripped you up? Jeff stops sweeping for a moment and stares down at the floor, hiding his face from my view. I couldn't help but overhear you two talking is all. He looks up and smiles apologetically at me. Oh, I think I know what he's getting at. You didn't like that we were talking about you, huh? I know it's never anything bad, but it gets tiring to hear all the time. He lowers his eyelids and starts grumbling under his breath. I mean, how would you like it if the rabble spoke about you like you were the main attraction in some tawdry back alley freak show? Huh? Where did that come from? I knew Jeff was capable of talking like that. Realizing what he said, Jeff nervously laughs. You know, something like that. Ha ha ha. Still, it doesn't distract me from that colourful statement of his. He must really not like being gossiped about. You should be flattered. It's annoying. You shouldn't be eavesdropping anyway. You shouldn't be eavesdropping anyway. How'd you manage to hear all that anyway? Put my hands on my hips. You were eavesdropping, weren't you? That's totally rude. Jeff frowns at me. You shouldn't blame me. I wasn't the one speaking loudly enough to be overheard. I didn't even have to try and pick up what you were saying. That can't be true, I mean... Yeah, he's probably right. I don't even remember trying to whisper. And here I am trying to make him feel bad about overhearing us. That must make me look like a real raging... you know... Jeff's concentrating solely on sweeping up the glass now, not bothering to look up at me. Okay, sorry. You're right. It's not your fault that you managed to hear that. Hey, it's not like you two were being mean. No, but it's the fact we were talking about, you're right. I know how it is. Back in high school, people would say stuff like that all the time. They'd say things about how well I did on that last test, or how nice I was the last time we went out to eat, that kind of thing. I liked it at first, it was nice to be admired, but then it starts grating on you, you feel like you can't mess up. And it's like, hello, can you talk about something else, please? I'm not here for your amusement. And it just gets to you. Yes, more than you would think it would. Jeff smiles and his usual tone returns. So you do get it. That makes me feel a bit better, knowing I'm not the only one is a huge relief off my shoulders. Now that he's done sweeping, Jeff stands to his feet, holding the dustpan carrying glass. Thanks, Nicole. I feel a bit better now. Oh. That's good. I'm really sorry about before that was thoughtless. But hey, I still managed to make Jeff feel better in the end. I wait by Jeff's lab station as he goes to dispose of the broken glass. It doesn't take long, but just as he's coming back, the door to the lab swings open again. Oh, welcome back, Professor. Professor? I turn and see my bio-professor walking in. He's already wearing a lab coat, looking smart and sharp as usual. Wow, that didn't take long at all.
Thank you. They'll be delivering the scales we need in a few weeks. They offered to calibrate them for us first.
Garver's eyes fall on me and he squints his eyes as though trying to remember who I am.
I don't believe we've met before. Are you a new intern?
Oh no, science isn't in my thing. I'm Nicole Grave, the girl with the emails. Garver makes a face like ever has brought back several uncomfortable memories. Gee, sorry guy, at least you won't forget me now.
You're a tenacious girl, I'll give you that. You'll go far if you keep that up.
Sorry. I just really wanted to talk to you before we got too far in the course.
No, don't apologise. I do wish that more students were proactive as you are.
Garver looks over my shoulder, presumably at Jeff.
And I see Mr. Ryan took you under his wing in the meantime.
Yeah, Jeff's been keeping me company. He taught me what to earn in a lab and what you guys doing here. It sounds pretty important.
But way over my head, I silently add. As expected from Mr. Ryan, but if he doesn't mind, I'll be happy to spend some time speaking with you, Nicole.
I'll make sure that the scales go in the proper areas, Professor. Leave it to me.
Excellent. Right this way, Nicole. We can talk more in the back.
Great, I have a few questions. I'm about to head to the lab's back, but I stop and turn back to Jeff first. Thanks for keeping me company, Jeff. It would have been weird just standing here all by myself. Jeff smiles and offers a small nod. My pleasure, Nicole. I smile back and leave with Professor Garver so Jeff can get back to work. I know that small accident with the test tube was partly my fault. Jeff made it sound like this happens to him all the time. I feel so bad. I wish I could help. There has to be something I could do. Well, I don't know what, but maybe I'll figure something out eventually. Even guys like Jeff need help every now and again. Oh my god, can I just get a job? How much is a snack? 8. Dancing costs money. I guess we'll go socialise. We didn't make any progress with any boys and we got 1 amity. 10 possible endings. 4 normal romance, the 4 dateable characters, 4 special endings with them if you solve the mystery, and a lone ending if you don't romance anyone, and a bad ending if you investigate the mystery but don't have anyone who can help you in the final scene. Oh dear. So basically everyone dies? Okay, so what are we working on? I feel like we need to relax a little bit. There we go. Let's do some jogging. And that's it. That's all we can do.
Okay. Ugh, when the professor announces the class is over for the day, it's like music to my ear. Anthropology is fun, and I find the material pretty interesting, but nothing beats having time all to yourself. I stick my stuff in my shoulder bag and get up from my seat to head for the door. Before I get moving, I suddenly notice the person sitting at the desk next to mine. It's a guy! It's Darren! It's a guy. His black hair is long enough to cover his ears and brush against the back of his neck. I can't help but notice the ends curl up like unfurled paper. He sighs and glances up from his notepad, pushing the bridge of his glasses as they slide down his nose. He looks tired. I don't really blame him after that lesson. Now that I think about it, it'd be nice to have a friend from class. I think this guy usually picks a seat, and he doesn't seem like a bad person. He looks kind of harmless, if I'm going to be honest. Well, I like her dress. Well, no use standing here not talking to him. With a smile, I approach him. Hey, wasn't that lecture brutal? His reaction takes me aback. His eyes look big and round and his lower jaw drops. It's like I'm speaking to a deer caught in my headlights. Before I can even question his behaviour, he drops his gaze until he's staring down at his desk, hiding his face from my view. Yes, there was a lot covered today. His voice is so quiet that I reflexively lean in to hear him better. The movement startles him and he pushes back on his seat, dragging the feet to screech against the floor. I screw my eyes shut as I cringe at the noise. When I crack one open, I see his face has grown a furious shade of red and he's nearly trembling in his chair. Sorry. No, it's cool. I mean, really, accidents happen. I desperately think of a way to change the subject. The most obvious answer hits me. My name is Nicole. What about you? I tilt my head and wait expectantly. Hearing my name seems to calm him down a little, and he takes a few moments to compose himself before finally talking again. I'm Darren. So that's his name. I better stop calling him that guy then. Darren, got it? Make sure to remind me if I forget, okay? I can be flaky when it comes to names. I laugh a little to try and encourage Darren to loosen up. It doesn't work. As I awkwardly ease down my laughter, he still taut as a board. Toit like Toiger? So what do you think of the class so far? I think it's a safe topic to talk about. Can't go wrong talking about classes on a college campus. I like it. Or maybe you can. That's all I get as a response, and it's only a few seconds later that I realise Darren isn't going to follow up with anything. He's killing me here. Cool, I do too. I read online that the professor can drone Frauen, so kinda sucks, but at least we only have to suffer through one. Yes, that's fortunate. Predictably, he doesn't say much else. I don't even think he said more than 10 words to me at a time. I don't get this. I have to go now, if you'll excuse me. Oh, sure, but he doesn't wait for me to finish. As calmly as he's capable of, Darren rises from his seat and makes his escape, leaving me staring after him in bemusement. I feel an odd mix of concern and just plain weirded out. What's up with him? Didn't even give me a chance to say goodbye. Rude. Don't think he dislikes me. He just seems to be shy, but that was like a whole other level of shyness. Maybe I shouldn't bother him too much. There are other people in the class besides him. Still, it's disappointing to think I scared him somehow. Grumbling to myself, I fish out my phone and log onto my messenger app. Maybe someone online can listen to me vent. I scroll through my contact list until settling on one. It's Voice. We've been talking for a while now, and we eventually gave each other our email addresses after finding Roller's messaging service unnecessarily slow and awkward. Tap on his icon and tap out a greeting. I see your voice. So you have, and here I thought my cardboard box disguise was infallible. There you go, talking about nerdy games I've never played. FYI, I'm on my phone right now, so I might be slower than normal. No trouble, I'm also using my cellular at the moment. I roll my eyes. I quickly learned that Vox really loves using old-fashioned terms like, seriously, who calls a cell phone a cellular nowadays? How was class? You did have class, yes? Yeah, it was okay, but can you say boring? I can, in several languages, if you don't mind me looking it up. I don't. Oh, also I tried making a friend. Results? I crashed and burned. Out in a blaze of glory? More like he ran out of the room in a hurry. I retell the story of my encounter with Darren to Vox, though I leave out the details of how I scared Darren's name out of him. I think I should keep that teensy detail to myself. I knew you could be overbearing at times, but this is certainly new. You're not helping my crappy mood here, you jerk. Yes, my apologies. Anyway, so now you wonder whether you should pursue a platonic relationship with this fellow. Basically, let me ask you, after the impression he's left on you, how do you feel about him? That's a good question. I want to know him better. I know this is going to sound really weird, but I still want to know more about him. Surprisingly, most people will be put off by someone who ran out the room at the mere sound of their voice. I'm gonna hurt you. Your words cut sharp enough. Good, but seriously, I can't explain it. I can just tell it's a gut feeling. And what exactly is this gut of yours experiencing? Is there something more to him? Something that would be pretty cool to get to know if I tried? All this from a single encounter? Yeah, if I'm desperate for friends, okay. If I don't have anyone to talk to in that class, I'm gonna go insane and die. That is so like you. Always the theatrics. I'm surprised you chose to major in law instead of the performing arts. Shut up, you know what I meant. Now, are you going to help me or not? I don't recall offering any assistance. Surprise! Sigh. I should have known. Well, the most I can do is advise you that forcing yourself onto him is not going to work. People like that need some time to get used to a person before they start talking more openly. So I should keep my distance for now? But let him know I'm interested in being his friend? Exactly. Let him know you acknowledge him, but allow him to be the one to come to you. Once he includes you in his comfort bubble, his friendship should be in direct line of sight. Comfort bubble? Is it a big bubble? It's a small bubble. How small are we talking here? Like a proverbial hamster ball, made specifically to fit a human being. I let out a low whistle. That is pretty small. So I wait until I see the bubble, and then all I gotta do is aim and fire. Pew pew. Even though he can't see me, I'm shooting a gun, earning a few stares from people as I walk past. Thanks a ton, Voix. I'm gonna try that. You are welcome, Hota. I await the day you inevitably gloat to me about your success. What makes you so sure I'll get this done? You're following advice that I gave you. Wow, and here I thought you were modest? As you so aptly put before, surprise! You probably counted out the exact number of E's too, knowing Voix. Anyhow, I have class in about 10 minutes, so I should head into the classroom. I'll speak to you later, Hota. I grin as I type up my goodbye to him. Unlike him, I have 2 hours before my next class, so I'm still free. I use the time to think about Darren and the advice Voice gave me. I just have to get into his comfort bubble, huh? I can do that. My determination returns to me, and I realise it's mostly thanks to Voice. He's always like this, helpful, smart, and interesting to talk to. I do wonder how he knows how to reach this type of person so well. I bet he has just a lot of experience with people. I'm calling it now. Darren is Voix. After all, he is Mr. Popular. Oh dear God, right, okay, what do we want? We want campers, socialise. Socialise is good. Amity is so close, slow to climb. Zeal. Gym costs 10. Let's play volleyball. Woo, Spike! In your face! Alright, Zeal plus 6, Amity plus 2. Cool. High value over 900 in a specific sat. Whoa! 900? Blimey. Regular day. Okay, so... do with more amity. Diligence? What was getting me diligence? Jogging. Go home. Do homework. That gets me some wit. We need to recharge. Excuse me. Ugh, I'm getting nervous. Econ class is going to end soon, and normally I'd be so ready to get out of here and go, but it's different today. Well, that's because Madry, Kurt, Kyle, Carl, forgotten his damn name. Today we're going to get our scores back on our first test. It's only natural to get nervous, but I don't know how to feel at all. It's kind of hard for a first test. I can only imagine what my scores could possibly be. At this point, it's up in the air. My mind's elsewhere as my teacher continues with the lecture. I'm barely registering what I'm typing. The seconds tick by, seeming ever so slowly, and finally the teacher ends his lecture to announce that he's going to be handing back our tests today. Like no one already knew that. Sheesh. The teacher's assistants have already sorted the tests into separate stacks based on our last name. They're placed on the table at the front of the class, and the TAs stand by, watching just in case there's some confusion. Or a riot starts from the pushing and shoving people will do to get to their test. I take my time packing up my stuff. People pass me on their way to the front, and there's already a small mob forming around the piles. I guess I should wait until it thins out before I go. A few more minutes and I see my chance. There's only a few people surrounding the table now. I pick up my shoulder bag and hurry down. Last names are in the G are in the first group. And I see the work of my classmates has turned the stack into a messy pile. Of course they couldn't keep it neat. Oh well, it makes it easier to look for my name. I feel a sense of dread as I search for grave. Most of the scores I see marked in red are the 60 to 70 range. I mean, considering this class is going to be scaled down, it's not so bad. But I studied really hard for this test. Hopefully that pays off. Okay, this is weird. I'm sure I've looked around this whole pile for my test, but I haven't found it yet. Wait, here it is. I recognize my handwriting peeking out from under a few other tests, and I pull my packet free. On the top of it is marked an 85 in red ink. Yes! Oh man, I feel like dancing right now. I don't feel like dancing. Sorry, it's not an A, but it's a solid B. Way better than all those C's and D's I saw scattered around. If the average is low, this could be enough to set me for an A in the class. I take another look at my score, admiring it for a moment before I pull my shoulder bag in front of me to stick my test inside. Oh, god damn it. Wow, I didn't know Kurt was still here. And I look over, he has a test packet in his hands. I can't see the score from where I'm standing, but I can tell from the look of on his face that it can't be good. I should really let it go. Whatever it is in my business. But I'm so curious. What could the oh-so-great Madry have scored to cause such an angry reaction? I wait until Kurt seems to have calmed down. Not that it says much. His fingers are squeezing so hard into his test that he looks like he's about to crush it. Everything all right there, Madry? Kurt turns on me, looking ready to yell. Once he recognizes who I am, his expression softens, and a forced grin welcomes my presence. Hey there, Grave. You heard that, huh? I see the remaining students are giving us a wide berth, eyeing Kurt like he's a bomb ready to blow up. I kind of want to help him. I mean, no, he's a jerk, but I want to help him. I also want some tea. Hang on. I'm pretty sure they heard you in the next hall over. I'm pretty sure they heard you in the next hall over. I can already tell this is going to be a touchy subject. So, how did you do? I figure asking the question in a sing-song voice will make it easier on the big guy. However, Kurt's voice lowers as does his gaze. Oh, okay. Maybe that didn't work as well as I'd hoped. Kurt glances over his shoulder before letting the other as if he's checking if anyone's listening in on us. Hey, can we talk somewhere else? Jeez, I just wanted his score, not his life secrets. I agree, though, and Kurt leads me out of the classroom and outside. He leans against a nearby tree and groans, the base of his palm pressed to his forehead. I failed the damn test. I figured you did. Wow. Try and show a little more sensitivity, Nicole. Yeah, you're not best buddies with this guy, but it's not like you want someone to talk to you like this if you just failed. I try again. What did you score? If it's like in the 50s or 60s, you should be okay. Ooh, Kurt shows off his test packet and I hold back a grimace as I see a score of 42 written on the top of his test. Yeah. Okay, that's not in the 50s or 60s. I rock uneasily on my heels, trying to think of a way to make the situation better. Well, we have four other tests. If you rock those out, you should make up for it. It won't matter. Kurt growls and looks around, ready to punch something. I only hope he's enough of a gentleman not to hit a girl. I don't get any of this. It's just all numbers and stupid graphs. I just thought this was going to be common sense. Econ is econ? Wow, that sounds so lame, but I don't know what else to tell him. How did you study for the test? Well, I skimmed the chapters. And I skimmed the chapters. Kurt looks at me with a sheepish grin and I sigh in response. That's your problem. You need to study better. Take it from me. I show him my test score proudly, not floating enough to rub it in his face, mind you, but hey, I worked hard for this. I think I know what I'm doing in this class. Whoa! Kurt is genuinely impressed, and I silently congratulate myself at being able to throw him off for a change. However, I soon notice a wry smile form on his face, and I slowly feel the tables turn. Hey, Grave! He's the one using a sing-song voice now. When Kurt uses a sing-song voice, it cannot mean something's good's about to follow. What is it? What do you want? Hey, what's with that attitude? It's not like I asked just anyone to tutor the great Kurt Madry. Please tell me I didn't hear that right. You want me to tutor you? See, look, you're as smart as I thought. No way, not happening. I'd rather choke in our textbooks. Ouch, straight to the heart. He holds a hand to his chest and pretends that it's wounded. Be a real wound if he keeps this up. Look, I'm sorry, but I haven't really done this tutoring thing before, so I have to pass. Good luck, though. I tried to walk away from Kurt, but he hurries in front of me and holds his arms out wide. Jeez, I forgot how big this guy is. Move it or lose it, Madry. No means no. Hey, can't you just hear me out? Gives me this puppy dog look that managed to make my heart melt upon sight. Man, I bet he rehearses this all the time to get what he wants. Fine, but I'm only giving you 5 minutes. Starting now. I told you I was here on an athletic scholarship, right? Yep, and I know this means you need to keep above a C average or you can't play. If I don't pass this class, I'll be on academic probation. I'll have to be able to play ball or they'll stop paying for my stuff. Kurt sighs and presses his hands together, pleading. Look, trust me when I say I don't want to bother hiring a tutor, but it's obvious that I need one. Grave, you're my last hope here. I'm seriously begging. Gosh, this guy, I can feel my defenses crumbling as he gives me another dose of those puppy dog. Give me another dose of that puppy dog look. I really don't like Carl. I don't hate him, but he's far from being a friend. But he was desperate enough to ask me. I figured sucking up on his pride should count for something. Here, you got me. I'll help out. Kurt lets out a whoop and throws his fists in the air. Friggin' sweet, gonna pass this class for sure now. As I watch Kurt snicker smugly to himself, I get the feeling he thinks I'll be able to solve all of this for him. Thanks, Grave. I owe you one. Yeah, that's definitely what he's thinking. Not sure what to tell him. It's not like I'm some kind of miracle worker here. Tell him I have to play his part. He seriously better not be expecting me to do all the work. I gesture pointedly at Kurt. You're gonna have to be the one to apply all the stuff that I teach you. I can only do so much. Kurt shoots me an annoying side glance. I'm not stupid, Grave. I got that much. I was just reminding you. Okay, now I look like some kind of hard ass that doesn't have faith in him. Who would want a tutor like that? Sorry, I do think you can do it if you work at it. I just kind of failed with words for a moment. Yeah, whatever. Kurt fumed briefly, not that I blame him, but I see him soften after a few beats have passed. You're doing me a real solid just by agreeing. Don't worry about it. But could we work everything out later? I might be late for practice if I don't move it. Sure, just like text me or something. Let me give me your number. Both of us pull our cell phones quickly out to exchange numbers. As Kurt finishes punching mine in his phone, he wears the most obnoxious smile I've ever seen. Hey, Grave. What is it now? Do you realise what you just did? What? I just gave you my number? I just gave you my number? I didn't even realise I'd done that. The worst part is that I gave it to Kurt willingly. He didn't even trick me. It's just for getting touch about tutoring sessions. Don't let it get to your head, Casanova. Whatever, that doesn't change the fact that I still got your digits. Kurt saunters away humming a melody under his breath with words I can fitly recognise. I just got Graves' digits. He continues down the hall and as soon as he passes the corner and disappears out of sight. I'm telling you, that textbook is looking more and more appetising by the seconds. Okay, I'm going to search through some old newspapers, reference books, and study wit. Some good wit. What's room? What's wit? I want diligence. Who? Observe people. Relax. Socialize. I'm not eating or drinking anything. I have no money. You just wanted to punch the guy. Yeah. 2 diligence, 2 amity. High value. Okay. Zeal. Let's do some cheerleading. Not bad. Socialize. Nice. Library. Do some searching. Do homework. Five zeal, 3 amity, 1 wit. Cool. Fresh motivated. Okay. What do we get with volleyball? Zeal. Woo! Can't believe I let this happen now. Scatterbrain can I get? Ugh. It's gonna be nighttime soon. Instead of being all snug in my dorm, I'm out and about in the life sciences department. I need to go back to Professor Garver's lab. I can't find my textbook for his class, and the last time I remember having it was when I was over there asking him questions again. I think I might have accidentally left it. I'm hoping I did. I paid good money for that textbook, and with that price tag, I ain't buying another one. So I say, but I bet I'd buy another book if it came down to it. What can I say? I'm just that dedicated to the path of a good student. I'm just glad that I noticed my book was missing before the buildings were locked down. I think I have an hour or so until then. I better get in and out ASAP. I make it into the lab building, then head upstairs, taking the stairs 2 at a time, since I'm far too anxious to stand still in an elevator. I don't see many people around, which isn't surprising. It's getting late, and I'm sure people have better things to do than linger around a lab building. I'm not complaining. The less people around, the less witnesses, and I'd die of embarrassment if anyone saw me running around the building like this. This makes me realise my mistake. A million steps out of dorm room too late. What? This makes me realise my mistake. A million steps out of dorm room too late. That sentence doesn't make sense. No. What if his lab is locked? Crap, I didn't think of that. If there's no one around, the door's locked, then I just wasted all my time. Man, oh man, what am I going to do? How am I going to get in? I'll bother thinking about that if it comes down to it. Right now, I have to hope for the best. I can see the professor's lab coming up anyway. It's really quiet on this floor. A weird kind of quiet where you can't even hear any white noise. It must be because barely anyone's here right now. I almost want to tiptoe just so my footsteps don't disturb the calm. That's kind of stupid. Who's around for me to disturb anyway? I take a breath once I reach the lab door. Do or die time. And it's really more do or cry time because I know I'm going to be crying if I can't get into his lab. I grab hold of the handle, turn it and... Oh, it turned? I look at the handle and I'm able to believe it if it's turning. I turn the handle all the way, then push on the door, and it opens obediently for me. Yes, it's open. Time to get my book. Though it's kind of weird the door's unlocked. I mean, this is a lab. You don't just want anyone coming in and messing things up, right? I really don't get science people sometimes. It's a little dark in the lab, but it's bright enough that I can see where I was going. I think I was in the back talking to Professor Garver like usual when I took my book out. I should start there. I get excited when I think about how close I am to being home free. So excited, in fact, that I think the noises I hear are the sound of my beating heart until I listen more carefully. My heart in slight panic as I realise that the noises are coming from the back room. Wait, is someone in here? I try to take a calming breath. Come on, Nicole. It has to be one of the interns who work in the lab. Like, who else could it be? A thief? A paranoid voice in my brain keeps saying. Troublemaker? Okay, shut up, paranoid voice. It can't be any of that. Like, gosh, how good is our security team here anyway? Not great if there have been kidnappings. I don't remember in time before the door suddenly opens. Panicking, I duck down and crawl to the far side of the lab station. My back presses flat against it, and I try my hardest to keep my breath quiet as I hear footsteps. Nervously, I lean out to try and peek at who was in there. Please be someone I know. Please don't be a hooligan. My prayers are answered as I see that familiar dark brown head of hair. Oh, thank God, it's just Jeff. I think it's Jeff. I'm just about to reveal myself when I notice that something is really off about him. Totally called it. It's his face. Like, no, it's not scarred or disfigured, and he is smiling. It's a really weird kind of smile. It's a very self-satisfied smile, the kind you give yourself after setting up the best practical joke ever, and the person completely falls for it. He's walking different too, like a king in his domain. There's this kind of swagger to his step, like he knows he owns the area, and anyone around should know it too. Man, this is completely surreal. You okay? Foo foo foo, this is perfect. My breath hitches as I hear him speak. Cannot be his voice. I mean, I've heard Jeff speak plenty of times before, and he's never spoken like that. Holding a hand over my mouth, I continue watching as he situates himself at a lab station. Hold on a second. Is that my book he's holding? Totally is. He's just flipping through it like he owns it. Perhaps I spoke too soon. With a furrowed brow, Jeff sighs and claps the book shut. He releases it from his hands, letting it fall to the lab station with a loud thump. I forgot how utterly useless information from an introductory course on biology was. Of course I wouldn't learn anything new from it. He scoffs and eyes my book with a look of disdain. Honestly, I should just burn this thing. For having brought my hopes up. I wonder under what conditions the pages would burn the best. Perhaps I could also form a coloured fire for the procedure. Want to do what to my book? I move without thinking, and my shoe produces a shrill screech as it rubs against the lab floor. Uh-oh. Unless Jeff is deaf, he's definitely going to notice that. Is someone there? Jeff's voice sounds like the one I'm used to now, but it's strained, like he's forcing it, which I think he might just be doing. Cat's out of the bag. I stand to my feet apprehensively, keeping my eyes on Jeff the entire time. Hey there, Jeff. I awkwardly gesture to my book. Seems like you found my book. Well, I'll just be on my way now. I stiffly walk over to him and hastily try to swipe my book away, but he plants his hand on top of mine before I can pull back. Smiling, his eyes lock onto mine, but I immediately know this is not the same smile I'm used to Jeff giving me. Hey, so how long have you been in here, Nicole? Well, funny story. I pull my book towards me super fast, knocking Jeff's hand away. Hugging it to my chest with an arm, I take a few steps back before I point accusingly at him. I know how to disarm a guy, so you better stay back. In theory, my dad taught me a few simple things, but it's not like I've ever had to practice. Jeff looks at me with unfettered amusement. I take that as you were there the entire time. Didn't mean to be. I only came here looking for my book. Then I heard you in the back room and I panicked and hid. I wasn't trying to be sneaky. Yes, I suppose that is only natural considering the present climate hovering over our quaint college campus. But this means you've seen things you're not meant to. Nicole, heard the forbidden. I take a few steps back as Jeff advances on me. He reminds me of a cat toying with his prey. That would make me the prey, wouldn't it? I must applaud you. You are blessed. Few are blessed to say that they have witnessed the true genius of Jeff Ryan. You are a lucky girl, Nicole. Yes, very lucky. Wait, the true Jeff Ryan? Jeff doesn't like you at all. You need to think someone's been huffing a few too many chemical fumes. I mean, it can't be you're like super nice and everyone looks up to you in the lab. If that isn't really who you are, then are you saying that's all a farce? Completely, utterly, truly, without rebut. Jeff raises his hands and shrugs indifferently. You would be surprised at what years of study and practice can do for your social life. That's all human interaction is, a formula. Encounter a person, simply add 1 part smile with 2 parts warmth, and the chance of a successful exchange is at least 80%. Just look at you. It worked the first time we ever met, did it not? No! Not on me! Not on me! I am not a formula kind of gal. My mind seriously can't handle this right now. So all this time, even back then, that kind, warm, good-natured Jeff was this loony, egocentric, mad science wannabe all along? Yes. But why would you go through all this trouble to pretend to be something you're not? That doesn't make any sense. I don't recall ever owing you any explanation. I do what I do because I'd be bored otherwise. An honest answer, if you would, please. Would I be as popular as I am today if I acted like this? How I truly am. You have 10 seconds to answer, and please make sure your reply is a simple yes or no. Huh? That is not a yes or no. I know that. You're just confusing me right now. I held a hand to my head. My thoughts won't stop spinning right now. No, I don't think people would like you very much if you were being a huge jerk like you are now. Jeff snaps his fingers. Correct. Sharp, Nicole. I had a feeling you were sharp. Anywho, now that you know, I'm afraid I'm going to have to kill you. What? I am joking, of course. I stomped my foot and yelled in frustration, shaking out my nerves. Don't do that! It's not funny! Yes, your girlish screams are of no entertainment to me, but seriously, do not speak a word of this to anyone. I work tirelessly to make sure my image is flawless. You just happen to be an unfortunate accident. Do you understand? Not a word. I don't care much to let others know a genius sleeps among them. Kiki. Jeff snickers under his breath as I ponder over his proposal. I honestly can't believe that the Jeff I thought I knew was basically a lie. If that's the case, why should I let him keep lying to everyone else too? I'm just going to yell at him. What is your problem, though? You act like a total jerk and then don't expect anyone to call you out on it? Shake my head. I can't condone that. I don't think I can keep your secret. Instead of being affronted or taken off guard like I expected, Jeff simply starts laughing. Kiki. As predictable as anyone else, Nicole. How truly disappointing. To think I was able to see this coming as clearly as the definition of a HD monitor. Ugh, I need to stop him before he bursts out any more lame metaphors. I don't care, I'm not going to promise you anything. Then I'm afraid your built-up rapport with the Dale professor will be all for naught. Why would he want to associate with the girl who broke into his lab? But I didn't break into his... A knowing glance from Jeff is all I need to understand what he's up to. Is he seriously not blackmailing you all over this right now? Oh, but I am. Yes, you may not be doing anything unsavory, but the very fact that you're in this lab will be enough to make the professor wary around you. Not something you want from the man in charge of your grade, no? Can't believe this guy. What a complete and total ass. Ugh. Fine. Whatever. You don't want me to say anything, then I won't. There! The way Jeff starts laughing under his breath is enough to make me want to punch him in the face. I had a feeling you'd see it my way, Nicole. You said that you came to the lab to retrieve your lost book. He gestures the textbook in my hands. There's your useless textbook in your arms. You may leave my sights now. Trust me, I can't wait to leave his sights as soon as I can. However, before I go, there's one thing that's bothering me. I'm going, but can you tell me why you're even here so late in the first place? That's pretty weird. An innocent enough question. I suppose I can grace you with my answer. It's as simple. I am just the person who volunteers to make sure that everything in the lab is in its place. Doing so allows me time afterwards to spend in the lab by myself. Why I do that, however, will remain my secret. Such an idea of genius would be difficult to grasp, I'm sure. Do my best not to be creeped out and fail miserably. Okay, I'm going to leave you to whatever it is you're doing here. I'm concerned. Jeff waves me off as quickly as I quickly leave the lab and slam the door shut behind me. Did that just really happen? Who would have thought that Mr. Perfect was actually too perfect to really exist? Me! I totally called it! I can read fake people. Because I don't get them. One thing I know for sure, I just totally stabbed myself in the chest with my finger. Though I'm going to be spending a lot less time in Professor Garver's lab now. We got a Zeal. Yeah, we had 0 Jeff anyway. Yes, I know I keep injuring myself. I'm really, really silly. Regular day. Okay, we'll do another day. I'm going to finish about 11 because I want to, yeah. My voice. 3 hours, I think, is sufficient. And it feels like if I've got to get to 900, I'm going to be here forever. So we will pick this game up again next week. Diligence, I guess. Let's do some jogging. Guess I should actually take a nap because my energy is massively low there. If I can afford it, I've got $1. I can afford nothing. Oh, Now, this isn't a sight you see every day. It's around lunchtime and I'm in the cafeteria to grab a bite to eat. I just don't expect to find Ted here, too. Oh, I'm glad I could continue amazing energy. That's good. Not saying I'm some sort of cafeteria regular, but I rarely see him in here. Actually, I rarely see Ted around campus in general. I figure he must be working when he's not at school. Well, this is too rare an opportunity to pass up. I tightly grip my lunch tray as I go over to join him. I don't want to stumble and wind up spilling chicken soup all over him. But that would be kind of hilarious. Ted has a table to himself and papers are fanned out in front of him. Is he doing some kind of project? Oh man, I didn't forget something for criminology class. Please don't tell me that's for criminology. Ted doesn't even look up as I stop by his table side. No. A personal thing. If you're going to join me, sit on the other side. I don't want you messing up the files. At least he didn't respond with a go away, Nicole, like I was expecting. Carefully, I seat myself opposite Ted. He's resting his forehead in a propped-up palm, and the corner of his upper lip is a bit between his teeth. Whatever he's doing, he's sure thinking hard about it. You don't want to ask what you're doing, huh? Nope, but you're going to ask me anyway, aren't you? I grin. It's nice that he knows me by now. If that's not for class, what is it? It looks like you're having a hard time. I try to lean over to read what's on the papers, but Ted shoots me a glare strong enough to push me back. Classified, can't let you do that. Then just tell me what you're doing already. Fine, I'm planning out an employment strategy. Ted briefly holds up a paper and I see the words "now hiring" at the top in bold letters. Ah, so it must be for your store, right? Bingo, remember that guy that ran out the last time you were there? You mean the one you let get away? Ted blushes angrily and tilts his head away. Shut up, that doesn't matter. Point is, he don't hang around the store anymore. Did he quit? He was fired. Yikes, I should have seen that coming, poor guy. I can only imagine how hard Ted was on him. Now I have to hire someone else to take his place. Right now I'm planning carefully what to put on the flyer and where to post them. I've already made a list of establishments that are advertising, organised by distance, of course. I stare at Ted in stunned silence. All of this just to hang up flyers? I don't think I have to go that far. Wrong. I have to make sure the best possible message is spread in the best possible manner to reach the best possible people. He needs 100% diligence, doesn't he? That's why I'm guaranteed to get the best possible replacement. Ted returns to sorting through the papers he has on the table. Get it? No, not really. What's the big deal? You might not get the best possible employee, but you'll probably get someone really good anyway. Ted stops what he's doing and looks up at me. His gaze is intense and without mercy. What did I do? That's settling, and settling is not something I'm going to do with the store. It's too important for me to do that. Because it's your dad's? Something like that. He waves his hand like he's trying to shoo away an annoying bug. I ain't expecting you to understand, but don't get in my way and try and talk me out of this. I gotta do the best I can do. Fine, I'll shut up. I look down at my bowl of chicken soup, suddenly remembering about it, and stir my spoon around the broth. I start eating quietly as Ted goes back to his work. You're some kind of perfectionist, huh? Ted regards me with a side glance as I speak through the corner of my mouth. Ugh, I didn't mean to say that out loud. Noticing my trepidation, Ted takes pity on my poor soul. And what's wrong with that? If I do the best job I can with all I can, then I can reap the rewards with no regrets. Yeah, but you're gonna get grey hair before you're 30. Ted scoffs and shakes his head. Have you seen my pa? It'll be a cold day in hell when that happens. Now, if you ain't gonna help, then shut up. I'm trying to work here and I don't need to be laughing. I sorely spoon more of my soup into my mouth. At least he called me funny in his own way. What would you have to do for this job? Nothing too difficult. Work the register, stock the shelves, clean up, organise the back. I do the brunt of it, but I need to make sure whoever gets the job can do the rest. Can I have it? Oh, so it's pretty easy, huh? If you're competent. Okay, then sign me up. Ted jerks like I just punched him in the shoulder, and he looks up at me like he's trying to gauge how serious I'm being right now. Don't tell me you're volunteering. What's with that face? It's only part-time, right? I can use the money. Ted sits back in his seat and crosses his arms stubbornly. It's not going to be as easy as just asking me. What makes me think I should hire you, of all people? Put it this way, I need a job and you need someone who thinks you're kind of scary. It's a win-win. You think I'm scary? Ted acts like there's some kind of honour. Don't get too ahead of yourself, bucko. I only said kinda scary. I can handle working for you. Oh, really? Yeah, like here, try me. Let's have an interview right here, right now. Right here, right now, right here, right. Sorry. Ted looks around the noisy cafeteria background. Okay, so it's not your typical professional setting, but it's going to have to do. He sighs, resigned, and stacks all the papers he has in a neat pile. Fine. This will be a good way to see how you are on your toes. I actually start to feel nervous as Ted cracks his knuckles and sits straighter in his seat. You're done with your soup, no eating during an interview. Petulantly, I take one last sip and then push my tray to the side. I think Ted might be taking this a little too seriously. Now, Miss Grave. He arches a brow as I reflectively snort. I'm not used to him addressing me so formally. I simmer down as Ted glares at me. Sorry, what were you saying? I was going to ask, do you have any prior work experience? Well, I do some odd jobs around town, but it's nothing too extensive. Other than that, I didn't do much during high school. Wait, no, I babysat my brother. Does that count? Not really, but I'll take that into consideration. Tough crowd, though I should have expected considering it's Ted. I'm going to have to do a really good job if I want to impress him. Okay, game face, Nicole. You have to show Ted that you really want this. We go through the rigmarole of your usual interview. Ted asks me if I have any time constraints that will get in the way. Nope. Why I'm interested in the job? Because of the money. And if I've ever heard of their store before. Kinda. And so on. I think I'm doing pretty well. Ted doesn't look like he thinks this is the dumbest idea anymore. Alright, final question. Quietly cheer under my breath. This is the home stretch. All I have to do is nail this question and Ted will probably consider me for the job. If you had to describe yourself as a music genre, which genre would you be? Okay, say what? Could you repeat the question, please? Simply put, what kind of music would you be if you were music? Ted looks at me with a smug expectancy, like he just knew this question would trip me up. Fine, I'll show him. Get ready because I'm gonna hit this one out the park. Country, pop, or jazz? Yeah, that's what I was thinking as well. Pop. I know, I'd be pop music. Ted's face remains impassive. Go on. Well, pop music is usually really energetic, and that's me. I put 100% into anything I do, and that's why people love being around me. I looked at Ted, expecting him to be impressed, but he still holds that weird expressionless face. My heart lurches a little. Did I fall into some kind of trap? I see. So you got the energy, but you lack the substance, just like pop. Popular, infectious, but uninspired. What? Hey, do you have substance? The heck did you get with that from a simple question about music? I would argue even more, but Ted's already tapping the edge of his papers against the table, cutting me off. And that concludes the interview. I've got eyelash in my eye. I release a pent-up breath. Sorry. I got a little shaky at the end here, but overall I think that had to be good enough for Ted's standards. I hope it was, at least. So, do I shake your hand now? Nah, you're good. I think I've made up my mind anyhow. Lean across the table, pushing off the toes of my shoes, so I've nearly reached Ted on the other side. And... Ted lowers his eyelids and stares me dead straight in the eyes. You can have the job! His eyes clench shut as I let out a Victoria whoop! Gonna make some bank! Only because it'll be a real pain and take way more time to hold more interviews. You don't seem like you're a half-bad worker, and I doubt you could be worse than the last guy. You, please don't compare me to him. I'm so relieved though, now that the interview is over I can finally go back to eating. My nerves are so frayed that I feel 10 times hungrier. When do I get to start? Please, not with your mouth full. I swallow, so Ted stops grimacing at me like I'm some kind of 4-year-old in a fancy restaurant. Better? Much, and you can start if I talk to my pa about it. Once that's clear, I'll get in touch with you. Well? Ted grows a little bashful. That means I'm gonna need your number. Sure, no biggie. Give me yours while we're at it. I eye Ted amused as I pull my phone out of my pocket. Yeah, like you're asking me out on a date? Shut it, I've never bothered with any of this. I wasn't sure if I was being too forward by asking. Well, here's some advice. Take a chill pill, boss. It's for work. I know, and don't call me that. Fine, Mr. Bossy. As soon as Ted's done groaning, we exchange numbers. The moment Ted's done entering mine into his phone, he returns into his pocket and gets to his feet. I expect a call from you soon, Nicole. I'll be relaying your schedule to you once I've sorted it out. Okie doke, you going now? Well, there's no need to plan out my fly distribution now that the problem is sorted. Ted offers me a stiff farewell wave. So yeah, I'm out. I lift my hand to wave back, but Ted's already marching off before I get the chance to. I'm getting a sinking feeling that working for this guy isn't going to be a walk in the park. But hey, money is money. There isn't anything I can't handle. Whatever Ted has in store, he can bring it. I'll show Mr. Perfect that I can work just as hard as he can. Honestly, I kind of want a nap. It takes up 2 moves though. Park. I'm going to do some more diligence. Didn't get any plus any ones. I guess we'll just keep doing the running thing. Do the running thing. Do a socializing thing. Didn't get anything from that. It's not good. Ah. Then we'll be able to buy a shop online. Okay, after a month. Alright. Okay, so we'll just do this interaction and then we'll call it. I was kind of hoping to get the job before I stopped, but I haven't started the job yet, so I don't know. It's been a while since I started taking Vox's advice. Results? Don't have a clue. I frown and scroll down the dashboard of Roller, killing time as I wait for Darren to arrive. Excuse me. I developed a sort of schedule lately. I get to class early, sit in the same seat for who knows how long, then when I see the target arrive, I make sure to greet him with a, "Hiya, Darren." I perk up as I notice him walking in the door and greet him enthusiastically. The other students in the classroom don't pay me any mind. They're used to me shouting this early in the morning. Darren is pretty much used to it too. He barely flinches when he hears me call his name now. As he walks past me to take his seat, he gives me a small wave, an acknowledging nod. Then nothing. Just like every other time. I grumble silently and slump in my seat. Is this even working? My chin only touches my desk as I slink into my laptop. This is all Vox's fault. I'm gonna send him something mean on Roller. I sit up and click the shortcut I have, instantly taking me to the site. Once I see a link to Vox's blog, I click and prepare to write my jeering complaints. However, I should have known I'd be distracted by his blog. Ugh, he's found pictures of these really cool old-fashioned dining scenes with jukeboxes and ice cream floats. I start going through his blog, distracting myself with his thoughts, and soon I forget why I even went there in the first place. Ugh, that's right, I was going to complain to him. I should probably make sure no one's about to read what... I look over my right shoulder to see Darren staring intently back. Once our eyes meet, he flinches away and I cock my brow. Is he looking at me, or is he looking at my laptop screen? Wait. Hey Darren, do you use Roller? I notice his eyebrows raised as though he's recognised the name. Immediately I leap from my seat. I think I found a way into the bubble. So is that a yes? I grab my laptop and slide my desk out the way with my foot so I can stand next to Darren's. So excited I nearly shove my screen into his face and he reels back to keep some distance. I immediately back off as I notice how uncomfortable I'm making him. This isn't cool. I can't get in his face like this. I'm sorry, I just never met anyone who's Roller before. Well, offline at least. So when it looked like you knew what I was doing, I kind of got carried away. Probably just jumped to conclusions anyway. But he doesn't even know what I'm talking about. No, he hesitates like he's trying to find the right way to word something. I use Roller too. Pinch me? Wow, really? I feel the excitement from before returning. I awkwardly position my laptop in the crook of my arm so I can move my blog over to my blog instead of Vox's. This is mine? I place the laptop on the table so he can take a look. Darren leans over and seems to stiffen in place as he glances over at my blog. I'm not sure that's a good sign. I usually just blog about clothes, cool pics, superheroes. It's pretty girly, so I don't forget if it isn't your thing. I shift from foot to foot as Darren silently scrolls through my blog. I'm starting to feel self-conscious. It's like I'm letting him probe through my brain. So what do you think? I peer expectantly at him over my laptop. Good? Bad? Should I just delete now? I like it. He pauses again, struggling with his words. Finally he takes a deep, almost resigned breath. I already follow you. Okay, wait, what? I let out an embarrassed squeal. You can't be serious. No way, that's honestly flattering. Which is your blog? I'm not the type of girl who follows for a follow, but maybe Darren runs a blog that I like. Would you like to see? I'd love to see it. Darren's fingers zip across my trackpad as he tries to find his blog. After a moment, he makes a satisfied sound. Here we are. As he turns my laptop back around, he glances away as his face flushes. I'm staring at Voix's blog again. I told you! Wait, is he saying that? You've got to be... Huh? No! Oh my gosh, Voix! Darren offers a weak smile and a nod in my direction. Yeah, it's me. I didn't think we'd meet like this, Horta. So all this time, the guy I thought was miles away was sitting right next to me in class. I don't know how to feel right now. Like, of course I'm happy, but at the same time... Oh man, doesn't that mean I complained about Darren to his own face? I'm so sorry. What are you talking about? About all the things I said? I had no idea what I was whining about you to yourself. It's fine. You weren't being malicious, just honest. Truth be told, I was already aware of everything you mentioned to me. But I still feel bad about it. It is nothing to feel terrible about. Perhaps it should be me who's apologising. Darren glances away and shuffles uncomfortably in his seat. His voice gets even quieter than it was before. I had my suspicions ever since the day you asked me for advice. Of course, I wasn't certain. It could have just been coincidence, but it became increasingly clear as the days passed that was not the case. I'd never met anyone so determined to speak to me. Then I recalled the advice I gave Hota. Add to the fact that your name is Nicole, and it's actually very obvious. Well, it's embarrassing. It's not like I was trying to hide my offline persona from my online one, but yeesh, I seriously need to learn how to be more discreet. Wait, so why didn't you say anything? I'm not that good at expressing myself verbally. I wasn't sure how I'd broach the subject without it turning awkward. Well, that ship's kind of sailed, eh? A meagre attempt at a joke does nothing to make Darren laugh. It's a shame. I know I'm not much like my online persona. Not really, no. Darren laughs ruefully in the face of how blunt I am. Funny how I make him laugh only when I'm trying to be serious. So now that you've met me in person, what do you think? I'm not thinking anything different about you. We're friends. That's awfully nice of you to say, and I truly do appreciate the sentiment, but it's quite clear. At the very least, subconsciously, your view of me has changed. You're not talking to me like you usually do. You took a few steps once you back when you found out who I was. That's because I was really surprised. I understand, but those are still signs. I don't think you can say you're completely unaffected by this reveal. I can't argue with him there. And I'll get to know how you are offline too. I want to. How many times do I have to say we're friends until we get it? Until you get it? But, I mean, aren't you disappointed with me? I surely must be below expectations. I scoff and brush away his concerns. Oh, please, like, no one ever is. Nobody else ever is. Look at me, I must be way more... Stop saying that word! Disorganized. You just mean, like, disorganized and uncoordinated. The horrible word to use. Blah! Then I am online. Point at my head. It's hard to filter your thoughts on the spot. Darren bobs his head fervently. That's why I try to work out what I'm going to say in advance. I usually have a hard time talking, but I tend to go faster the more I get to know someone. Well, not saying that we don't know each other. Relax, I get what you're saying, no need to freak. Sorry. He sheepishly fiddles with the tips of his bangs and looks away. I wasn't lying when he said he had a hard time talking. He really is Vox though, and he's not just pulling my legs, and I'm sure he'll be his eloquent self in no time, I think. Darren, do you mind if I do something? What is it? Can I hug you? Darren's cheeks flush in response to my question. Pardon? What did you say? We've been friends on Roller a while now, and we're meeting offline. Didn't you think this calls for a hug? Come on! Darren goes all wide-eyed and he shoves his palms out as if he's going to push me away. No, absolutely out of the question. It would not be appropriate. What? Come on, just like a side hug at least. I'm really sorry, Helter. I'm not too keen with hugs. Any physical contact, really. Slump my shoulders into feet. Fine, sorry I asked. Sheesh. You have to follow my other request though. Stop calling me Hota. My real name's Nicole. You gotta know that by now. Nicole. He says it experimentally, as though saying my name produces an unknown taste on his tongue. Very well, Nicole. I can do that. Sweet. This makes it official. We're now roll of friends, both off and online. Darren manages a small, embarrassed smile. I suppose this is an occasion worthy of a post. You know it? I smack my lips as I reach over and flick his face in front of him. Hop! What did you just do? I did what you told me to do. I found a way into your bubble. Into my... Oh. Darren nosily readjusts his glasses and glances at the desk next to us. Well, if everything is settled, perhaps you could return to your seat. Oh, yeah, sure. I have stuff I need to look over anyway. Force myself to laugh and smile, but when I turn my back and head to my desk, I suddenly let loose a small sigh. I guess I'm not as deep into the bubble as I thought. I take a look back at Darren flipping through the pages of his notebook. Curly black hair, thin glasses, nice smile. Yeah, I can actually see Voight's having those things. But the personality's way off. I'll admit it. Part of me wonders if the Voights I knew was all an act put on by Darren. Could the person I admired actually not be who I thought it was? Ugh. I dismiss those thoughts with a shake of my head. No, that doesn't matter. I mean it when I said I wanted to know Darren's offline self. And if he doesn't turn out to be anything like Voight's... Well, I just have to adapt. That's what friends do. I've been staring at Darren so long, it surprises me that he only notices now. Caught in the act, I shyly offer a smile to Darren and shrug. He silently slumps with a good-natured sigh, but, one back. It's a small one, but whatever. It's definitely a start. Okay. Just gonna save and call it here. Because if I'm just gonna keep on going on and I'm not getting anywhere, and I'm not getting any achievements yet. I bet they're all endgame ones. So I'm gonna end it here. What's the plan? I'm gonna do some more of this, I think maybe the weekend. Depends. I think we might be finishing off We Were Here Together the weekend. I think Ross is doing a late stream on Monday, so I might stream some more of this on Monday actually. But yeah, just, press the button for notifications, and then it will let you know when there is a thing. But for now, thank you everyone for watching. I've been Jo, otherwise known as Angel SK. Have a good night, and I'll see you later.